on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. And, we've always got stuff in the news to talk about tonight, like, for instance, the new law in Texas. I teased it a couple of nights ago, but we never got to it, that apparently is going to make it illegal to send an unsolicited nude photograph to somebody. That's now apparently against the law. We can talk about that, plus the bus police. We got a brand new guest co-host here that we're trying out here tonight. He's a brand new mover, actually, here to the Keene area. By the way, I'm Ian Freeman here on Free Talk Live. But Captain Kickass is joining me here tonight. Welcome to the program.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, actually, I said off the air the other day, I don't think you were here for, but I said, well, every time, if Adam Kokesh could come to Keene, every time he comes to Keene and bring us one new mover, that would be pretty great because we didn't know that you had just moved here. You hadn't, come out to meet anybody until this weekend when Adam Kokesh was our guest co-host because he happened to be in town. He was in Boston on Saturday.
He's getting maced or whatever.
Yeah, he ended up getting some pepper spray or some sort of nasty spray by the police. He had his microphone cut off at the so-called Straight Pride parade. We talked in detail about that on Saturday night. So if you want to know all about what happened at the Straight Pride parade in Boston from somebody who was there, just go to freetalklive.com. Grab Saturday night's archive, and it's discussed in detail there. But then I think it was it Sunday night, Saturday night? Anyway, one of those nights you came out, and you'd contacted him, said, oh, wow, I heard you on the radio. I'm in Keene. And I guess you guys know each other from past events.
Yeah, in Seattle, actually, he was doing his book tours and that kind of a thing. And on his book tours, one day he, put up a cry for help on the social media, said, hey, I had a venue back out. Does anybody, know of a venue available? That kind of a thing.
And you're a musician, right?
Yeah, having played, in bands for 20 years in the Seattle area and heavy metal bands, I know venues, and so I can get you a venue, no problem. So I got him a venue, and then every year, whenever he came through, he'd ping me a couple weeks in advance or whatever. Hey, can can we do it again? Sure,
Perfect.
I was familiar with his work, I kind of came through the YouTube stuff, right? I remember your videos about, Ian's couch, back in the day. Came through like the Stefan
It
Molyneux.
Wasn't even my couch. It was my tenants.
Oh, that's right. It was, yeah. Kind of came through the old pre-cancer Stefan Molyneux stuff, Jacob Spinney videos, on the state is not great, and that kind of a thing. And that's kind of how I found myself to be a libertarian individualist, if you will. Is the word that I like to use.
So you would say it was Kokesh that kind of brought you?
Well, he was one of them, right? Because he had the RT show going on, right? The Adam versus the Man thing that, I would catch on occasion. And I loved his Man on the Street video. I think that's always been what everybody loves about Adam. Is
he does great work, yeah.
Man on the Street videos. So, I don't know if you know this, but about 5 years ago, I attempted to move to Keene.
I didn't know that.
And failed.
Oh, no. How?
Yeah,
Tell me about that.
I, in fact, almost died.
What?
Yeah.
You didn't hit a moose, did you?
No, I hit black ice is what happened.
Oh, man.
So
you moved during the wintertime.
Well, it was March, right? So if you want to call that winter. And I was anxious, so I'm like, I'm just going to go in March. That's close enough to spring, right? Packed up all my stuff, and I bought a little trailer, put all my earthly belongings in it. I got across the mountains just fine, and then just outside of Spokane, Washington, I hit black ice.
Oh, so you hadn't even gotten to
Didn't even get out of the state. Yeah, I didn't even get out of the state. Rolled it.
Oh, man.
The trailer exploded. All my earthly belongings scattered along the shoulder of the freeway. I got a ticket from the Highway Patrol for...
So that's just what you need in that
for driving with the wheels off the roadway. That was what the ticket said on it.
Also known as crashing.
Yeah. And, we like to talk about how the state is backwards. Like if there were any other service provider providing a road and they didn't maintain it in a way that was safe for you to drive on, you could hold them responsible. But you can't hold the state responsible for not, salting or de-icing a road and causing you to crash. I mean, I was going a completely sane speed limit. I'm originally a Wisconsin kid. I know how to drive in the winter. I'd seen some other people sort of waver here and there. There were people behind me that saw the whole crash happen and were witnesses to it, came to my rescue, If I'd have had a passenger, they'd have been dead because of the way the roof caved in. I rolled 3 times completely. And so I had to make a choice right then and there because,
turn around or
turn around where I got some support or dump some money into a U-Haul and keep going, and I was like, I better just turn around. And so it took me 5 years
later.
Yeah. So I feel like,
wow, I got to say, I definitely appreciate the dedication, man. I mean, a lot of people would have called it off after something. They would have said, well, the universe is trying to tell me not to go to New Hampshire. And maybe it was trying to tell you not to go right then. I don't know.
I think so because I eventually fell into, an employer that allows me to work from home.
Yeah.
And so go remote full time. And that is really like the linchpin. That's
so you had a much better. So 5 years later, you were in a much better financial and job related position to even make the move.
Right.
So it worked out. Just a bit of an ugly way to get into it.
But it makes for a great radio story.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you had told when we met this weekend off the air, you told me that you've had a bit of a storied professional career, everything from a carny to a shipsman at sea, like on the high seas,
long-line fishing,
tossed around by waves and storms, and you were telling some pretty cool stories. So Captain Kickass is here with us, having just I'm going to say just made the move. 2-3 months ago? You said it was Memorial Day.
Yeah, Memorial Day. I arrived. Did arrive?
Yeah,
whatever the proper English is there. Arove? No, that's a word I just made up. And rented I had a place that I put a deposit down before I even got here. I went and saw the place, and it looked okay. It needed to be cleaned, and the guy's like, I got to have it cleaned yet, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. So I spent I'll call it a week in a hotel locally, waiting for that to all get done. After post move stuff, and then ended up having to have the flooring replaced in the place too. So fortunately, my stuff was still in transit. I got here before my stuff did because I had it shipped. And so I literally camped in the kitchen. I bought a bed frame and a mattress off Amazon of all places, had it, delivered. And so I camped in the kitchen. I set up my laptop. I got cable right away for the internet, right?
So you were all set then.
Yeah. And so I could work and, I had a cell phone. So, and, I got a place close enough to town where I could walk to anything.
Sure.
Grocery
Go to a coffee shop or whatever.
And there is Uber out here, although, wow, is it not as available as it is in Seattle?
Well, I was surprised actually the other day. Again, we're talking about the liberty migration for those that are maybe new to the show. A lot of libertarians, voluntarists, anarchists, I'm not sure how you describe yourself, but people who care about freedom have been migrating here over the last 15 years roughly. And in fact, Free Talk Live, as of today, celebrates its 13th full year here in New Hampshire. So
wait, I'm on the 13th anniversary show?
You are.
Nice.
You are. That's right. So yeah, it was Labor Day weekend. We left Florida Saturday night because it was back then we didn't have a Sunday show.
Yeah.
So we left right after we'd packed the truck up in advance, of the Saturday show. We did the Saturday show, packed the rest of the studio up. So all my other stuff was packed in the truck. We packed the studio after we finished up the show and just hit the road and drove straight through 26 hours, taking turns. My girlfriend and I at the time taking turns driving. Made it up here. I think we got here on we got here that Sunday, and then set up the studio. It wasn't quite working on Monday, so we skipped that Monday show, and so it was that Tuesday that we were back on the air. So we only missed a couple of days to make the move up here. But I was going to comment about Uber being up here. It's been here now for a few years. They started in Manchester and then Concord, and then finally expanded out here. Normally, when I open it up, there's 1, maybe 2 vehicles that are available. But I was actually surprised. There was one day there were 4 whole vehicles available in Keene. But it's a small town. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Is it going to be illegal to send unsolicited nude photographs in a state near you? It may be in Texas now. We'll tell you about that coming up. And plus bus cops on the way. It's Free Talk Live.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? 1? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com, and it's a place you can send any business, and they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at icagoldsilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. icagoldsilver.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. Go Dark Bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit godarkbags.com/FTL. That's godarkbags.com/FTL.
Now, how much money will all those closeted Republican convention goers bring into the city, Marie?
A lot. The average area prostitute normally makes around $200 to $300 a week jerking off truck drivers behind the bus station.
I see.
Next week, they are expecting to make 30 times that amount sucking off secretly gay Republicans.
Wow.
You figure the fact that these delegates are so repressed and filled with self-hatred,
yes,
they tend to like the filthiest, kinkiest sex acts imaginable.
Oh, that's
which
right.
tends to cost more. The average well-adjusted gay man has no desire to smear fecal matter all over his partner's face or be beat up by him. But that is exactly the sort of thing that these repressed conservatives are willing to pay top dollar for.
Okay, as well as the services of transsexuals, I understand.
Yes. A lot of the Republicans repeatedly call the prostitutes faggots or start crying after they've had sex with them.
I suppose the prostitutes are shoring up on their politics so they can talk to the Republicans.
Ha ha, Andrea, what do you think this is, Pretty Woman? They're just there to get
right. Thank you, Marie Byron.
RNC's always a good time.
This is the Onion News Network.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves. All you have to do is dial toll-free and join us here. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. Coming up, by the way, Johnson joining us here, Ian and Captain Kickass in the studio. Johnson, you've got a pretty big press release from the nation's largest retail chain, Walmart, in regards to some pretty major policy changes for the store. So we're going to get into that coming up here in just a moment. But as I was saying, we were kind of welcoming Captain Kickass here to the Keene area. He's a migrant as part of the New Hampshire Freedom Migration. Are you a Free Stater as well? Did you join the Free State Project?
I tend to not like to really sign much of anything.
Not a joiner, okay.
Yeah.
That's totally respectable.
I call myself an individualist. That's the word I use, just because it's doesn't carry any preconceived connotations.
Yeah.
It's a little more tame when people ask you about it. So
right.
That's kind of how I roll.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, I'm all about that kind of a thing for sure.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you caught wind that something was happening here, regardless of the Free State Project, which is just one organization that encourages liberty-minded folks to migrate to New Hampshire. There's also, of course, the Shire Society, which is a decentralized group that doesn't have a board of directors. There's no king or head or president or anything like that. It's just over at shiresociety.com, there's just a statement that some people agreed on years ago, almost a decade, actually, just about a decade ago at this point. And you can either sign the declaration or not. And some people want to move here for the reason of being together with people that actually care about freedom. And as somebody coming from Seattle, I mean, there has to be a big change. I mean, beyond just the whole, culture shock of moving from a major city, an urban metro area, to the middle of the woods, basically. We're like a little tiny Keene is 23,000 people in the southwestern corner of New Hampshire. It's the population center of
it's a little oasis.
Southwestern New Hampshire. We're basically in the woods here. What was it like, and how long did you live in Seattle prior to coming here?
Man, I moved to Seattle in '96.
Okay,
so
20 years,
good 22 years or something like that. So yeah, a long time. But like I said, I'm a Wisconsin kid originally. I grew up in a small town just north of Milwaukee.
So you're used to cold.
So
you're used to small town.
I wouldn't say used to it. I was in Seattle for 22 years, so I'm going to have to reacclimate
Fair
myself
enough.
now.
Yeah.
But I'm at least educated. I know that I'm probably going to have to plug my car in the winter to make sure the block doesn't freeze so I can start it the next day, kind of a thing, right? I haven't shoveled a drop of snow in over 20 years, so I'm sure I'll become reacquainted with the shovel real quick.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to join the conversation, you're welcome to. Our number is 855-450-FREE. And as I said, on the way, we'll get to bus cops, plus the Texas law that says it may now be illegal to send unsolicited nude photographs. Johnson, do you have that press release from Walmart available?
Indeed.
Because that sounds like pretty big news. We can get into it. As much as we could continue talking about Seattle, and I'm sure you'll have stories at some point, Captain Kickass, for to relate of what life was like there compared to here. But almost everybody everywhere, at least in the United States, probably has a Walmart near to them, unless you live in the heart of Seattle. Was there a Walmart?
Yeah, there's Walmart.
They even have Walmart in Seattle. Wow.
I don't know about in Seattle proper.
You have to go a little out on the outskirts.
Yeah, you got to get to one of the non-Seattle cities
Suburbs.
that surrounds, like Everett.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big Walmart there. There's one in Redmond, and that kind of thing. So
most people have got one relatively nearby, and as many as don't want to admit it, a lot of people shop at these places. So what's going on? They've sent out a press release, and it's a pretty big one.
Yep. So this is an announcement from the CEO of Walmart, Doug McMillon. Dear associates. A month ago, in El Paso, Texas, a gunman with an assault-style rifle launched a hate-filled attack in our store, shooting 48 people and resulting in the loss of 22 innocent lives. Just a few days prior, 2 of our associates were killed by another associate in our store in South Haven, Mississippi.
Wow.
And hours after the shooting in El Paso, our country experienced another mass shooting in Dayton, Ohio. This weekend brought tragedy to Midland and Odessa, Texas. In South Haven and El Paso, our associates responded to anger and hate with courage and self-sacrifice. Our immediate priorities were supporting our associates and the impacted families and cooperating with law enforcement. In parallel, we have been focused on store safety and security. We also have been listening to a lot of people inside and outside our company as we think about the role we can play in helping to make the country safer.
And how many of those people that are contacting them actually shop at Walmart?
Right.
Because whenever there's some sort of a push for we need to change this corporation, it's almost always led and pushed heavily by people who don't even have a stake in that corporation. They're not working for them. They don't shop there regularly. But they want to see their way.
Yeah, and let's see if the decisions that are made, 1, make the country safer, 2...
Or Walmart safer.
Or Walmart safer, yeah. Right? Or either the country or Walmart, right? And 3, whether or not Walmart stockholders have a CEO they need to remove very, very quickly for making a decision that it does not service the country, Walmart, Or its stockholders.
Well, there's a good chance, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say there's a good chance that this CEO did not make this alone. He probably consulted with the board of directors first.
Sure.
If he
there
didn't,
may be an entire board that needs to be removed, but the CEO,
which will be a lot harder,
decided to make that decision with the board of directors,
right,
is
I'm
going
presuming
to be the prime target to be the one to go.
If that's, again, if it's all the board of directors, I mean, we wouldn't know if it was a full vote, like a unanimous vote, or if it was split. I doubt that sort of data will be revealed in this press release.
Does he go on to say, exactly what, he has said he is going to do?
Yes.
Okay.
It's clear to us that the status quo is unacceptable. After visiting El Paso on the August 6th, I mentioned that we would be thoughtful and deliberate in our responses. We're ready to share our next steps. We've been giving a lot of thought to our sale of firearms and ammunition. We previously made decisions to stop selling handguns or military-style rifles, such as the AR-15, to raise the age limit to purchase a firearm or ammunition to 21, to require a green light on background check while a federal law only requires the absence of a red light.
How many of these lunatic shooters have been under the age of 21?
Actually, I think a good deal of them.
Really?
Yeah, I think there have been several. Green light to require a green light on a background check while federal law only requires the absence of a red light, and to videotape the point of return for sale of firearms, and to only allow certain trained associates to sell firearms. Today we're sharing the decisions we've made that go further. After selling through our current inventory commitments, we will discontinue sales of short barrel rifle ammunition, such as the .223 caliber and 5.56 caliber that, while commonly used in some hunting rifles, can also be used in large capacity clips on military-style weapons. We will sell through and discontinue handgun ammunition, and we will discontinue handgun sales in Alaska, marking our complete exit from handguns.
Wow. All right.
That's just part of it.
Yeah, we'll get to the rest of this press release. Big news from Walmart. Not quite abandoning guns entirely, but major pullback here. And we'll tell you more. And I'm sure the gun people are like, it's not a clip. It's a magazine. More coming up. It's Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at marketfreetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. Marketfreetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, Mark at freetalklive.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadati.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm gonna tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm gonna tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free, bring up anything that you want. Our number here is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We also have the Discord call-in line rooms at discord.lrn.fm. And Free Talk Live is brought to you by Bitcoin.com. It's a great site to go to learn the basics about cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And also, they got some really cool sort of subdomains like other sites that they've created, like local.bitcoin.com, which is a trading platform that is global, and it's finally a private trading platform. And what I mean by that is there's no ID requirement to sign up for local.bitcoin.com. They let you buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods, and your communications between buyers and sellers on the site are encrypted. So not even these site administrators know what you're saying unless you give them access to read, because sometimes you'll need to dispute a trade with somebody who might be trying to scam you or whatever, and then you might want to bring somebody in from the outside to look at what you've been saying. But by default, they cannot read it. Go to local.bitcoin.com and get started trading Bitcoin Cash there today. That's local.bitcoin.com. Johnson, you've got more coming up here of this. I don't know if it's shocking to some people. I guess others probably not surprised that Walmart has finally caved in to consumer pressures. Now, whether they were coming from their actual consumers or these busybody groups that have, don't shop at Walmart, we don't know. I suspect there's a good chance a lot of the people who are complaining aren't Walmart shoppers, but nonetheless, we'll continue with what they're planning on banning. It sounds like so far you've said that they are, once they sell through their current inventory, they're going to get rid of 223 and 5.56 ammunition.
After selling through our current inventory of commitments, we will discontinue sales of short barrel rifle ammunition, such as, so it extends beyond. It's just all short barrel rifle ammunition. I see. Such as the 223 caliber and 5.56 caliber that, while commonly used in some hunting rifles, can also be used in large capacity clips on military-style weapons.
Whoever this guy is doesn't know the difference between a clip and a magazine. The magazine is the device that you load into the gun that has the ammunition in it. The clip is something that stores ammunition before it goes into a magazine.
You know, I was like waiting for him to say an assault rifle when they were discussing the AR-15, but clearly they had some people at least looking at this generally because it was a military-style rifle. I mean, it looked like somebody went in and did like a find replace probably to like correct some of the errors, but missed that one.
They had to pass it through marketing first or something.
Yeah, something, and like somebody in marketing was like, I've heard you can't say this because I've heard that this is a wrong thing to say. Like,
they were tiptoeing carefully with this for sure.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a disaster for Walmart.
When you say it's going to, I mean, you got more of what's going to happen, but when you say it's going to be a disaster, what are you predicting?
I'm basing it on facts like the fact that immediately, like it's been 1 year since Dick's made its announcement, right? Sporting Goods.
But did they pull all guns?
They pulled guns. I don't even know if they pulled all guns. They just made some very big inroads into doing the similar types of things.
I remember that.
And they lost $150 million in a year.
Woo!
So, and then Gillette, right, did its whole, Me Too campaign, right?
Yeah, that's right. They're still getting railed for that.
How men are all dumb and they're all, we need to teach men to be better. And by teaching men to be better, we mean we need to lose $8 billion.
Wow.
They've lost $8 billion since that campaign.
Holy crap.
That's a
Gillette is probably going away. Bye, Gillette.
Wow.
Good decisions. These these campaigns
just change the name.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. I mean,
rebrand.
Or just be bought out. That's probably what'll happen. Is it's somebody else with 5 blades or something will buy them.
Well, actually, we were looking the other day at this. I think it was off the air. I was talking with one of my. I think it was my roommate about this, and he said
I was making an onion reference, an onion joke there about they had an onion article where they just keep adding blades to these razors, like 5 blades, 6 blades, 7 blades.
The new 70 blade Gillette, the best a man can get,
covering every direction possible, 360 degrees. Apparently, Gillette is actually owned by Procter & Gamble, so that's one of those massive mega corporations to where, you know what? $5 billion still pretty significant there. Their revenue in 2018, according to this, was $66 billion. So, I mean, $5 billion out of that's $8 billion out of that. Yeah, that's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's a big hit.
So we can continue here with what's going on in Walmart, but let's go first to the phones where Robert is on the line in Vermont. You're on Free Talk Live. Hello, Robert.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I just want to give people a heads up. It's almost harvest season, for people that grow cannabis and stuff like that.
Oh,
Know that there are people that are out there that will just walk on your land and take your cannabis.
Yes, that's why you don't want to let anybody know that you're growing cannabis, even though it's legal in some states, and you're in a state where it is legal for you to personally grow some amount of plants. I don't know. I forget what the limits are in Vermont, but even though it's legal, you still don't want to tell people about it because they might decide that they want it instead.
Right. I was hit this morning sometime around 5:30.
Really?
6 o'clock. Somebody came to my house and took it, and it's disturbing because I could be out there,
Sure. You could.
Or, there's people around where I live at that, women that jog around here. I mean, if somebody's got the balls to come to my property and do that, what else will they do?
That's a good question. Now, is it possible that your plants were visible from the road, or is it that you maybe told a few too many people? Because, you generally shouldn't tell anybody that you're growing cannabis.
Right. I didn't tell anyone. And, my house is back quite a ways from the main drag. So I suspect that it's a neighbor up the street from me. I don't know for sure.
Oh, that's tough.
He could be listening. Who knows?
Well, what I would say is if you've got a large enough crop, then it might not hurt to get like a game camera or something like that, some sort of an outdoor weatherproof camera device, and point that thing at the crop, and then if something does happen, at least you'll then have some sort of evidence. And I guess since it's legal, presuming you're under the legal limits, you could technically go to the police with the evidence at that point, because then they actually, how much time they're going to put into trying to solve the crime is another question.
Does anybody offer insurance for that kind of thing if it's a legal crop?
I doubt it.
I know they have other insurance for other.
Are you allowed to have bear traps on your property?
That's a good idea. set up a bear trap. But
Then you'll hear it at 5 in the morning. Somebody steps in it.
Screaming.
So, but no, I just want to give people a heads up.
Thanks for that, Robert. Definitely appreciate it.
You guys have a good night.
Thanks for the call tonight. Yeah, these things are still valuable. Cannabis, it's not as expensive as it once was, but it is still not a cheap crop, and thefts are a very real possibility.
I just thought about maybe grow something else in addition to it, so
to cover it, you mean?
That's some corn around the outside.
Something, absolutely. So beware and do what you got to do to protect yourself. Obviously, if you are a serious grower, if you're not just throwing some seeds out in the backyard, you might want to consider doing an indoor grow operation just because, there's some downsides, right? Like you could get pests and there's certain things that you kind of you got to be aware of and deal with if they come up. But the benefit, of course, is you've got more security because it's indoors. And secondly, you got year-round growing, especially if you're in Vermont, where if you don't plant those seeds in the springtime, you're wasting your time. Yeah. So you can't do year-round growing outdoors in a lot of places. So
you want indo, not outdo.
Yeah, exactly. And you're then in more control as far as are you going to get pollinated from other crops that might exist outside that you don't know about?
It sounds like that guy needs to hire a weed nerd to come and help him.
Well, I mean, whether you know what you're doing or not won't stop you from getting pilfered, right?
Yeah,
like if you're growing outside and somebody finds out about it, then you are at their mercy. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Cannabis not yet announced by Walmart as a product that they're planning on taking, but maybe they're going to feel more comfortable with it now that they're not selling guns in their store. Now, it's not a total ban on guns yet, right. Johnson. You're going through the list of things. They put out a press release, a pretty major announcement here saying they're going to stop selling short-barreled rifle ammunition, so including .223 and .556, which are commonly used in so-called assault weapons, semi-automatic rifles. 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. And is this going to do anything whatsoever to stop madmen shooters? We're coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Fellow Patriots, my name is Todd Savage, founder of BlackRifleRealEstate.com. Like you, I was a prisoner of the alt-left sanctuary state until one day I chose to lead my family to freedom. Today we live on a sustainable 20-acre homestead where we shoot, hunt, garden, and homeschool our children without the tyranny of the nanny state looking over us. If you're ready to flee the city to the freedom of Idaho or Montana, our Black Rifle Real Estate team is here to help. Go to BlackRifleRealEstate.com. That's BlackRifleRealEstate.com.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to, so I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about Angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. After just 1 week of taking Angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com. Or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll-free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you? Would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You dial toll-free to join us here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. They're over at discord.lrn.fm. You can jump into one of those, sound almost like you're here in the studio with us tonight. You've got me, Ian.
And Johnson.
And the captain.
And we'll, of course, take your calls about anything, but we've been talking about this Walmart press release. The CEO... Presumably, the board of directors also, co-authored this, or at least signed off on it, where they're announcing that they're going to be, as soon as they're done selling through their inventory. So it's not that important, right? Like, this isn't that pressing an issue where we feel like we need to stop.
There could be a couple more shootings.
Yeah, why wouldn't they just rip it off the shelves right now if it's that important to them?
They've paid for it, right? There's money to be made here. Now they may discount it, or maybe they won't even discount it. Maybe it's like, well, as soon as we're done selling through this pile of ammunition that we have in this warehouse over here, then we'll stop. But still, it's a big announcement. I don't mean to downplay it at all, and this is pretty serious, especially for people who thought that Walmart was on the side of gun sellers and the right to bear arms, or the gun buyers and the right to bear arms. And it sounds like they are backing down due to some amount of public pressure. But, Johnson, you had more to their press release, so let's keep it going.
Yeah, sure. So, right after they have their little bullet points about how they're not going to be selling .223 caliber and .556 that's, commonly used in hunting rifles. Hey, it's like the most common hunting rifle ammunition, but it can also be used in large capacity clips on military-style weapons.
That's the word they used.
Yeah,
not the correct
basically.
one.
And they're also saying that they're going to discontinue all handguns. Right after that, they get into saying, we know that these decisions will inconvenience some of our customers, and we hope they will understand. As a company, we experienced 2 horrific events in 1 week, and we will never be the same. Our remaining assortment will be even more focused on the needs of hunting and sport shooting enthusiasts. It will include long-barreled deer rifles and shotguns.
So sorry to anyone that wanted to defend themselves. We're not focused on you anymore. They said earlier, just before we went to that other break, they said that it sounds like they're going to wind down Alaska handgun sales. So they, for whatever reason, we're still allowing handguns to be sold in Alaska, but not other states. So I guess they'd already made that restriction in other states.
Right. Much of the ammunition they require for this is the long-barrel deer rifles and shotguns, as well as hunting and sporting accessories and apparel. We believe these actions will reduce our market share of ammunition from around 20% to a range of approximately 6 to 9%.
Sorry to interrupt you here. Our roommate just walked back in. As soon as he heard you talking about this announcement, he was like, my God, I got to get out to Walmart.
A huge box of .556.
Big box of ammunition.
Now, did you sell them out, or do they still have a bunch more?
You can tell they're very tired around there.
He says they're tired. The shelves are a little empty. So he literally walks back in with a very large box.
Were they on sale?
Of ammunition. Normal price, regular
normal
price.
price?
Okay. Right, he doesn't have to pay the shipping fee. All right. Well, you are going to have to soon, because as soon as they sell out of this ammunition, you're going to have to go online. And, well, of course, then you'll save time and it'll be easier. So everybody wins.
So
Probably
again,
save money, too.
They believe that their market share of ammunition will reduce from around 20% to a range of approximately 6 to 9%. We believe it will likely drift towards the lower end of that range over time, given the combination of these changes. As it relates
and
to
given the fact that some customers are going to be mad and they're going to just stop buying all their ammunition with you over this.
And stop shopping there entirely, maybe. They're really...
Well, that's the tough thing, right? Because... We've talked about these corporate issues before in the past. I think the last time we really kind of got deep into it with people being upset about companies.
I mentioned Dick's Sporting Goods. I could mention Starbucks. Which I'm drinking a Starbucks coffee. I could mention Gillette. These companies have lost massive sums of money when they do this stuff.
No doubt. They take a political position and they get punished for it. But what I wanted to say was, it's hard for people to, like, how many different places can you go and get a tube of toothpaste from? I mean, you can go to CVS, you can go to Walgreens, you can go to these stores. Of course, they're more expensive there because those are generally considered convenience stores. You could go to Target, but Target's is going to be just as wussy on these issues as Walmart is, right? So, like, unless you have a locally run mega store that actually has decent prices. I mean, maybe like one of the closeout stores or something, Big Lots or something like that. But the point I wanted to make here was, if you go back to, I think it was 2008 during the Obama-McCain campaign, remember when they both got on stage and they backed up national service? You remember that issue, national service, where the idea was that we're going to have our young people do 2 years of national service, or 5 years, or 3 months, or whatever it was. They never really figured out how much they wanted to do. But yeah, the idea was that both the Republicans and the Democrats were getting behind this idea of creating, as I think Obama put it, a government bureaucracy that is as large and as well funded as the military to do so-called national service, which is basically not really volunteering, but paid work for the government, which is kind of like volunteering, but not really. Target backed that up. Home Depot backed that up. There was like this list of mega corporations. It was like, yeah, we support national service. And, we had this conversation then. Well, where do you go shop? Because all of these corporations do stupid crap, and they make these decisions that inevitably will push out some customers. But then where do they go from there? I mean, you can go online, obviously, and that's clearly going to be a solution. But, I mean, is Amazon great?
I think if Walmart wants to really, set an example, what they need to do is offer a course to any employee that wants to take it on handgun safety, give them, the opportunity to have either open carry in the store themselves as employees, or concealed, carry permits. Leverage their position and offer that as a benefit to their employees. If all of their employees are armed, there's not going to be another shooting at Walmart.
Well, if there is, it won't be very long lasting in that case. Now, I don't know what that does to an insurance policy, if they're going to have to pay more for insurance if they were to put some sort of a system like that into place. But regardless, that's not even an option on the table for them.
Yeah. Well, and then it makes me question why they're even announcing this. Like, they could have just made these moves. And not said a word.
No, you can't. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying, but they have to make an announcement because it is a major policy change. I mean, we haven't even gotten through it yet. They're also going to prohibit open carry.
It will become clear here pretty shortly about why they have to announce this. And this is the paragraph where it becomes clear.
Okay.
As it relates to safety in our stores, there have been multiple incidents since El Paso where individuals attempting to make a statement and test our response have entered our stores carrying weapons in a way that frightened or concerned our associates and customers. We have also had
these morons who, I'd just like to add, feel like they've got to use private property to have their little political statement. And I I disagree with this particular. I mean, I'm somebody who supports the right to protest, but not on somebody's private property unless you've got their permission.
Yeah.
I don't know that that necessarily applies to what you're saying is maybe covers that this covers that, but this is a lot broader than that, and I don't think that it's just specifically limited to what you're saying, and I'll expound on that in a second here. They say, we have also had well-intentioned customers acting lawfully and have inadvertently caused the store to be evacuated and local law enforcement to be called to respond. These incidents are concerning, and we would like to avoid them. So, we are respectfully requesting that customers, and this is in bold, we are respectfully requesting that customers no longer openly carry firearms into our stores or Sam's Clubs in states where open carry is permitted. Unless they are authorized law enforcement officers. Unless they are part of the blue class.
Now, I'm not going to say who it is, but you know somebody who works at the local Walmart here in the area.
I know several people that work at the local Walmart.
One of them is in management. Have you been made aware that in regards to this release, is there a signage
I was aware
change?
of this.
No, but is there a signage change? Meaning when you walk in the front door, does it say no open carry?
I don't know. I haven't been, and the person that I know that works in management is not working today.
I see. This just broke today, then?
Just broke today.
News. Okay. You didn't happen to see anything, roommate, when you went there on the door? No obvious, no open carry sign? So now this gets into that sort of weird, and there's more to the story, right? We'll get into it. But this gets into that sort of nebulous area where Starbucks kind of did this half dance where like, well, we would like to request... Well,
let me say something here.
Yeah.
So the management person that I know, I mean, and just think about this as a manager. People don't think about this from that perspective. Now, as a manager, you would have to approach every single person carrying a firearm walking into the store and confront them.
Right.
So that means if there is an active shooter, 100% you're going to be walking right up to that person.
855 450
Thanks,
free
Walmart.
like freedom, Free Talk Live.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
Under my eyes, I used to have bags. Not terrible, but it was noticeable, and it seemed to go away. It makes my skin nice, my hands look better. I know that internally it's doing good, and I think that everybody ought to have this because it's real food. I mean, you could say that there's nothing spectacular in what's happened to me, but I've figured out what I need, and this is a definite basic part of what I need.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. Call or go online now and become a preferred customer, which gives you our best pricing and free shipping. And after your third month, we will ship to you at no charge an additional set of fruits and veggies. This will be a limited time offer, so don't wait. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FREETALKLIVE.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,521. Silver at $18.37. and Bitcoin is trading around $10,391. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, they started off by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. 10 minutes later, they were reading the text of a resolution claiming the existence of, quote, overwhelming evidence, end quote, that pre-planted explosives caused the destruction of the 3 World Trade Center buildings. And so it was on July 24th of this year, nearly 18 years after the horrific attacks that traumatized a nation and changed the world forever. The Franklin Square and Munson Fire District, which oversees a volunteer fire department serving a hamlet of 30,000 residents just outside of Queens, New York, became the first legislative body in the country to officially support a new investigation into the events of 9/11. The resolution, drafted and introduced by Commissioner Christopher Gioia, was unanimously approved by the 5 commissioners. Members of the audience, including the families of fallen firefighters Thomas Hetzel and Robert Evans, both Franklin Square natives, joined in solemn but celebratory applause after the 5th I was spoken. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Scientists from the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Harvard University recently discovered something that could change cancer treatment forever. The Mind Unleashed reports that in the study, Harvard researchers learned that a compound in the cannabis plant called flavonoids can be used in the treatment of pancreatic cancer, one of the deadliest forms of cancer, with a survival rate of only 20% within 1 year. Flavonoids are a common compound found in most plants, fruits, and vegetables. But the drug used to treat cancer, called FBL-03G, is specifically synthesized from the cannabis plant. The discovery could provide much-needed hope and relief to patients with an illness that has only an 8% 5-year survival rate. Although pancreatic cancer only affects 3% of all cancer patients in America, it's on track to become the second leading cause of cancer-related death in America by as early as 2020. The state of Illinois recently passed a bill to legalize the sale of recreational marijuana, but not everyone is happy about the changing times. Residents in the city of Naperville held a rally over the weekend to oppose the sale of recreational marijuana after the first licenses were awarded to cannabis businesses in the state. Organizers of the rally said they don't want recreational marijuana to be sold in the city because they want to maintain a family-focused atmosphere, according to the Chicago Tribune. The Mind Unleashed reports it's still unclear how the recreational marijuana industry will work in Illinois, as every state has implemented different guidelines. The legalization bill will go into effect next year, and the program will begin very small. So far, only 5 locations will be permitted to sell the plant, starting on January 1, and all of them are already medical marijuana dispensaries. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
North, an extremely vocal opponent of gay marriage, drew fire during his 2010 re-election campaign for saying that the legalization of gay marriage would lead to man-horse marriages. In one instance, he told the New Haven Register, quote, "It's a slippery slope. If we allow 2 men to marry, what's next? Men marrying horses?" But yesterday, North found himself at the center of a media firestorm when the New York Times published photos of North on what appears to be romantic outings with a horse. Gathered during the Times' 2-month investigation, the pictures show North in almost a dozen locations with the same 3-year-old mare. A former aide discovered links to numerous horse-related sites, including phillyfreaks.com and hothindquarters.com on North's work computer. The Times is accusing North of using federal funds to pay for luxurious trips, including a 3-night stay at the high-end Sueños stables in Catalonia, Spain last month. North released a statement yesterday claiming he only spent time with the horse twice while conducting research for his anti-gay marriage project.
This is the Onion News Network.
Should have left that muted. Anyway, it's Free Talk Live. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Very professional radio operation here. All right, so welcome to the program. If you're just tuning in, we're launching into the second hour. We're still dissecting this press release from Walmart, basically saying that not only are they going to stop selling all short-barrel rifle ammunition, including .223 and .556 rounds, they are also going to stop, well, the term they used was they're going to request that
respectfully request that customers no longer openly carry firearms into our stores.
Now, this is the kind of
but then there's a threat that kind of follows right after.
All right, I want to hear the threat, and then we'll get to your calls and thoughts.
We believe the opportunity for someone to misinterpret a situation, even in open carry states, could lead to tragic results. We hope that everyone will understand the circumstances that led to this new policy and will respect the concerns of their fellow shoppers and our associates. Well, you don't respect your own associates, clearly. As it relates to concealed carry by customers with permits, there is no change to our policy or approach. This morning, we briefed your leadership team on
I don't have a permit, but hold on, before you go on. I don't have a permit to concealed carry, but in New Hampshire, it's completely legal to conceald carry without a permit.
Need a permit here.
Right.
So they didn't address that, but let's go on.
Just put it in your pocket.
It's not a good way to conceal, but it is a way.
I wonder if you have you have like a gun on your hip or whatever, if they have like an associate run up and drape a little cloth over it, Conceal this. You have to conceal it. We believe that the opportunity for someone to misinterpret... as it relates to concealed carry by customers with permits, there's no change to our policy or approach. This morning, we briefed your leadership team on how to communicate this change in policy to customers when needed.
Okay.
And they will be sharing that with you very soon.
So that's what I would like to hear about. If you can get that information, Johnson, since you kind of you've got an inside loop. How are they supposed to address this with the customer? With the next customer that walks through the door with an open carried handgun on his hip in Texas or in, I don't know which state. Sorry, this isn't legal advice. So I don't know which states it's legal. I know it's legal in New Hampshire. In New Hampshire, somebody walks right in, or Kentucky or wherever. And how do they handle that? What do they come up and say? Right. Because this is the sort of mealy, weak-ass crap that doesn't help anybody, is to say, sir, we're requesting. We're just requesting that you go ahead and remove it. Well, is it a request or is it a rule? Like, am I allowed or not allowed to do this?
It does say, we will treat law-abiding customers with respect, and we will have a very non-confrontational approach.
Okay.
Our priority is your safety. We will be providing new signage to help communicate this policy in the coming weeks.
Yeah, so that's going to be important. Look, if it's a rule, then I want to know it's a rule.
Yeah.
I don't want to be told it's a request.
Yeah, it's got to be binary. It's either on or off.
Because if it's a request, saying it's a request opens them up to more of this envelope-pushing crap, right? Like, you remember when those guys went into Starbucks and they had, like, full-on rifles, semi-automatic rifles slung to their backs?
Can you imagine the activism opportunities in Keene alone?
Well, I'm not interested in doing anything on somebody's private property like this, but at that point, I wouldn't blame someone for doing it. Right? Because if all they're saying is, well, we're just requesting that you don't do this. Well, then, okay, I want to know what that means. Does that mean I can come in with a gun on my hip and just be talked to by the front desk first? Do I need to check in? Or is it, no, sir, I'm sorry, we cannot serve you if you're going to be open carrying. In fact, if you continue to open carry, we're going to have to ask you to leave because that's against the rules of our store. Look, lay down the law if that's what you're intending to do. Don't make this half-ass zone where your customers are not going to be clear on what's allowed and what's not. If it's not allowed, then let everybody know that clearly so they can make a clear choice to say, all right, well, I'll just go and do my shopping somewhere where I'm welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is not going to be helpful, depending on how they end up promoting this. But this initial language doesn't say it's a firm rule.
And what was the clickbait? The headline again?
This is an actual press release.
I don't remember what the headline was where I initially found out about the press release. But it says, as an additional step, we will work alongside other retailers to make the overall industry safer, including sharing our best practices. For example, we are exploring ways to share the technical specifications and compliance controls for our proprietary firearm sales technology platform. The system navigates the tens of millions of possible combinations of federal, state, and local laws regulations and licensing requirements that come into effect based on where firearm is being sold and who is purchasing it. We hope that providing this information free of charge will help more retailers sell firearms in a responsible and compliant manner. Oh, and I missed something here. After they said, we will treat law-abiding customers with respect, and we will soon have a very non-confrontational approach. The priority is your safety. We will be providing new signage to help communicating this policy in the
you read that.
I did read that. Okay, I thought I missed that. So there will be signs coming soon. So anyway, they go on to say, finally, we encourage our nation's leaders to move forward and strengthen background checks and remove weapons from those who have been determined to pose an imminent danger.
Well, if they thought they were going to get away scot-free without having a major upset in the gun community, they just ruined it with this statement here. To call for more gun laws, to call for more restrictions. I mean, if it wasn't already a done deal, the gun rights supporters out there need to not be buying any firearm stuff at Walmart anymore.
We do not sell military-style rifles, and we believe the reauthorization of the assault weapons ban should be debated and to determine its effectiveness. We also must do more as a country to understand the root cause.
Are you adding an accent to
slightly?
Bentonville, Arkansas.
That's right. So, I'm just trying to subtly put it in there with the corporate speak, because you can kind of, even reading it, you can kind of see that the choice of words in there has that little southern, kind of twinge.
Got a bit of the drawl, y'all.
Yeah. Where was I at? We also must do more as a country to understand the root causes that lead to this type of violent behavior. Today, I'm sending letters to the White House and the congressional leadership that call for action on these common sense measures. As we've seen before, these horrific events occur and then the spotlight fades. We should not allow that to happen. Congress and the administration should act. Given our decades of experience selling firearms, we are also offering to serve as a resource in the national debate on responsible gun sales. We have a long heritage as a company of serving responsible hunters and sportsmen and women, and we're going to continue to do so. Our founder, Sam Walton...
That's what you think.
Our founder, Sam Walton, who rightfully is probably rolling in his grave, was... an avid outdoorsman who had a passion for quail hunting, and we're headquartered in a state known for its duck hunting and deer hunting. My family raised bird dogs when I was growing up in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
I never fired a rifle, but
and I'm a gun owner myself.
Oh, really?
Actually, is what he goes on to say.
He used the term clip earlier in the press release.
Well,
that's one
a
of
lot
the
of these people, it's like, I'm creepy Uncle Joe Biden. You should go buy a shotgun. I own several shotguns.
Yeah, if creepy Uncle Joe's coming by, you probably should be well armed. Protect your kids, folks.
Yeah.
So this is all just based. This is a reaction to mass shootings, right?
Yeah.
When did mass shootings stopped being called going postal? because in my memory, that's the
yeah.
first time I ever heard of, what is now called mass shootings. It happened where?
The post
in
office.
in a government facility, right? A state-sponsored institution, and it was called going postal. And for some reason, that has dropped out of our vernacular. And I want to know,
interesting.
I'm bringing it back, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to start calling, somebody else went postal. Next time there's a mass shooting, I'm going to bring it back.
Yeah, I love that. They even made a couple video games called Postal.
That's right, they did. Oh, my God.
They were super offensive. There's more coming up here. 855-450 free. If you want to join the discussion, you can. 855-450-3733. There's also a really offensive movie that was based on those video games. It's hilarious, by the way. More coming up here. This is Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
And not to mention the shedding, I would vacuum the carpet 3 times a week. Frodo was scratching all night long, bouncing on the side of the bed, keeping me awake the whole entire night from all the scratching and chewing. It kind of makes you neurotic.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy?
Mounds and mounds of fur all over the place.
Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Dinovite is nutrition.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
He gobbles it up. He's not up all night scratching. His shedding is minimal, and it is such a pleasure to have my calm, relaxed, non-shedding puppy back. And I have to thank Dinovite for that.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dinovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything you want here. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Like freedom, 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms. Just go to discord.lrn.fm, and you can connect into one of those. In fact, there's actually somebody on one of them right now. We're going to get to that here in just a moment. And with you in the studio tonight, you have Ian.
And Johnson.
I'm the captain.
You know, a lot of people are taking control of their own health these days. They want to make sure to avoid all the pain of getting sick, the loss of time at work, and of course, costly medical bills. And good nutrition is key to looking and feeling great. However, eating right all the time can be a challenge, especially if you are traveling and working. Those things tend to get in the way. You might not have the desire or the time to shop and cook the right foods. Balance of Nature has a solution. With just 3 of the Balance of Nature fruit capsules and 3 of their vegetable capsules, you get 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, and that is a lot of nutrition. After taking Balance of Nature, some people have reported their skin looks better, bags under their eyes have gone away, increase in energy, body pain reduced, getting sick less often or even not at all. Of course, your mileage may vary. So go online. You can become a preferred customer, which gives you the best pricing and free shipping. And then after your 3rd month, Balance of Nature will ship to you at no charge an additional set of fruits and veggies. So you can go to balanceofnature.com to take advantage of this limited time offer and use discount code FTL like Free Talk Live. That's balanceofnature.com, discount code FTL. As we go to Ace Lion on the line calling us from Utah. Hello, Ace Lion.
Hey, yeah, guys. I just wanted to call in with a kind of a quick question, see what you think, talking about copyrights and patents.
Sure.
I was listening to your show the other day. You guys got into it, talking about it, and the thought occurred to me. And I don't know if you guys have ever considered this or talked about it before or not either. But the thought occurred to me that whoever coined the phrase intellectual property pretty much won the debate right there, in my opinion. I think copyrights and patents, more precisely, should be called intellectual monopoly grants, not intellectual property rights, because from everything I understand, they seem more like a monopoly grant than an intellectual property.
Right, and by that you mean that if somebody violates this intellectual monopoly, then men with guns, meaning the government, will force them to stop. Basically, that's the monopoly.
Well, exactly. They keep other people from using their own property to make a living or to sell things, buy and sell things. You know, you can't copy an idea. And so I'm just wondering if you think that would be a more precise label for copyrights and patents would be to call them intellectual monopoly laws instead of intellectual property laws.
Yeah, I totally with you.
And I speak as a musician, a guy who's made music and made CDs and put MP3s out, and I come from the old school. I've seen the recording industry get dismantled by the internet, and what it's done is it's turned your favorite band into a T-shirt company, right? Because the music itself no longer has any value. Outside of including it with the purchase of a T-shirt or a hoodie or something like that.
Well,
they can bundle it up.
Does it have no value? I mean, wasn't there that experiment, and I don't know how well it went, but was it Radiohead or Trent Reznor? Somebody put up an album and said, pay what you think it's worth, basically. You can pay a cent, you can pay $1, you can pay $20, and they just kind of let whoever wanted to pay whatever they wanted to.
I mean, saying it has no value is probably improper. It has value to the listener, obviously. Right. If you're a fan of the music, you want that artist to go put out another album of,
so you'll pay something for it,
or you'll go and download it for free and listen to it and check it out, and then if you like it, then you'll patronize the artist's website or the label's website by either making a physical purchase, right? So now you get into where the physical merchandise is more of a collector's item. You get into things like a vinyl that's a green instead of the traditional black vinyl, right? Or you get some sort of a special print. There's only 200 of these, and so then you jack up the price for that to recover your costs, right?
Well,
so the market does adjust to that, but overall speaking, and this is outside of music, I think intellectual property prevents innovation. Right, it literally stymies other people from innovating on an idea or vamping or even improving somebody else's idea to make it better. So it stifles the flow of creativity and innovation and just slows that whole thing down. Which is why we don't have flying cars now.
It's one reason, for sure. And there's the FAA that stands in the way, too.
Yeah, those guys.
Ace Lion?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, one other thing I wanted to bring up, I don't know if you guys have heard this or not, but I have it on good word that the government can actually track our credit cards now.
Wait, they couldn't before?
Yeah,
What? You're joking, right?
No, I'm not joking. Meaning that they can actually, they can pinpoint your location based off of your credit cards.
Oh, you mean like some sort of a GPS chip in your credit card?
What?
Yeah, and it doesn't use the same. I don't know. I can't remember what the other technology is called, but so those you can't block the signal in essence.
You're saying
RFID or whatever.
You're saying that the chips are also RFID, meaning that they can.
And that's the thing. They're actually not RFID, so you can't use an RFID blocker to protect yourself.
Well,
so it's magic then.
Well, hold on.
Yeah, do you have a
It's a
source
radio
on this?
signal that's magic.
Well, now wait a minute. So the RFID is just a radio signal. That's
Right.
what
Radio
Johnson's
frequency
right. RFID.
identification.
Yeah, exactly. So most of the blocking technologies would just be Faraday cages, and that
Right.
would block whatever new tech they might have put into this device that you're talking about. I got to say, I'm curious to see where
it wouldn't block magical psychic energy traveling along ley
I
line.
don't know if that's what he's saying. I mean, look, I am curious to know, Ace Line, where you saw this story that now this is a thing.
I would be curious to know, Ace Line, whether or not you vet your information carefully. Because I think that stuff like this needs to be challenged
I have it
more.
on good authority. The person that told me about it is very trustworthy, and he knows a high-ranking government official that actually used the technology on him.
Used it on him? Meaning he showed off how it works?
Well, pretty much texted him and said, "Hey, I know you're here."
So are you
Really?
suggesting that this is permanently trackable, or are you suggesting maybe the more obvious way that this would be tracked, which would be the moment you make a transaction?
That's the classic method
The
of tracking.
transaction, this is kind of like a well-known obvious fact. Like you make a transaction at a point of sale somewhere, and
Ping,
they
there
know
you are.
that point of sale is connected to a particular Wi-Fi, and then they use multiple different Wi-Fi access points to triangulate a location pretty much immediately. And it works exactly the way they can find your laptop if your laptop doesn't have a GPS chip in it, because you can triangulate Wi-Fi locations almost instantly.
That might be, the way it came across to me was that they were able to track him without him making purchases, but maybe I didn't misunderstood it. Maybe
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a pretty big claim, and a large claim needs some amount of evidence to back it up. So
Sure.
I'm going to say just hearing it from somebody who heard it from somebody is basically hearsay, and so therefore it should be probably dismissed until some more evidence comes out. That's not to say that it's impossible that they put RFID chips into credit cards.
Well, it's not RFID, I know that.
Oh, well, then whatever it is, if it's not powered, then it would fall into that category of RFID. But if you learn more about it, please definitely send us some information in Ace Line. I appreciate the call tonight. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. More coming up on Free Talk Live.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
Are you about to meet the media? If you're about to be interviewed, do their homework for them. Know this about the person who will interview you. He or she is busy, so expect minimal, if any, preparation. He or she doesn't know as much about your topic as you do. He or she isn't as concerned as you are about getting your message out, so you need to take responsibility. Provide a biography and fact sheet, photographs, or other materials that tell your story. Reporters won't be put off if you supply frequently asked questions. Remember, Public Speaking 101, at the end of the speech, what's the one thing you want them to remember? You can download the document I supply to reporters who interview me and squirm through a video that demonstrates how not to conduct your media interview at www.survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free and join us here if you would like. Our number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. And Free Talk Live brought to you by Liberty.menu. If you are a liberty-minded person, meaning that you're an individual who rejects the initiation of force and you agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle, you belong over at Liberty.menu. You ought to list the things that you do on Liberty.menu so other people can know about you, and maybe you'll get some new customers. If you've got a business that's liberty-friendly, maybe you've got an event that you want to promote to other liberty-minded folks, or digital content that you're a creator of that you would like to get more listeners or viewers of, you can go list your stuff at Liberty.menu. It's free to do it, so why not, unless you want to stay in the closet about caring about freedom. Go to Liberty.menu, and you can use code FTL on your user profile and get a Free Talk Live listener badge. We can't give you a discount because the site's free at Liberty.menu. As we continue, it's Ian Johnson and Captain Kickass with us here tonight. So we talked about this Walmart thing, and I don't know if do you guys have any further comments on it? I think it's early. We're still going to see if there's going to be an explosion of outrage, as there probably should be some really outraged customers, because Walmart seems to have stuck with the gun people for a long time, and now they are just kicking them to the curb.
So I wanted to read the press release, but I guess my thoughts on it are more just, I'm kind of fascinated about the weird narrative thing that's going on here. It's just, as somebody who's been involved in libertarian culture for so long, this how do I talk about this? I don't know. I just find it really interesting that First of all, they're talking about how they're, so prioritizing their employee safety and all that, which is obvious nonsense because they're going to have these people approaching every person with a gun, and it's only the crazy lunatics who are going to be the ones that, this is a real problem with.
Way.
Yeah,
Also,
they didn't say in there they were going to hire professional security forces to guard the doors at every store.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And then the other thing is that every, the Walmart training, I did have, I've had a conversation with Walmart management and the Walmart active shooter training, which they have people go through. It's actually a virtual reality program.
Wow.
That they have people go through active training, and to some of the employees, it's traumatizing.
This was before all the
This is before
shootings?
this, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, not before all the shootings.
Well, the recent Walmart shooting.
Yeah, but they've been having this training for a little while here where they have people go through a virtual reality program
Wow.
to,
I would love to
active
see
shooter
that.
stuff. I know, me too. I want to play it.
Yeah, if anybody
can we turn
out
that
there,
into a game?
Yeah, can we watch it and critique it? And
Can I get that on Steam?
Yeah. So, not only that, but in that training, right, the active shooter brings the gun into the store, right, or brings guns into the store,
right,
concealed in a duffel bag.
Okay.
So, according to their own training, the active shooter brings in the weapon concealed, which is still what they're allowing in their stores, which is concealed carry.
Well, if you're going to bring a duffel bag
you can't tell the
in-
difference, right, between someone with a gun in their hand, aiming it, and someone who has a gun on their hip, you're an idiot, right? I mean, it's how hard is it to tell? I mean, the thing that all these businesses are doing, this is the thing that bothers me, is that the whole point of non-concealed, right, open carry, right? The whole point of open carry is to show that gun ownership can be safe when done by law-abiding citizens, and it is open carry and people who
It's
are
also a signal for criminals to say, "Hey, look, I'm armed."
Right? Hey, look, there are armed people around here. Last year in Washington, at Walmart, an armed customer stopped an active shooter.
Really?
At Walmart. It's like public, like there's public knowledge.
That doesn't
this
get
happened.
the same press coverage, though, does it?
It never does.
Right.
No.
But this guy, Timothy something. It's Timothy O. It's definitely very clearly Irish name.
Timmy O.
Yeah, Timmy O. something or other. O'Day. Timothy O'Day.
Timmy O'Day.
Timothy O'Day is who stopped an active shooter in Washington State last year, 2018.
How about
this
that?
happened.
Now, you were out there. Did you even know about this?
No, but
Wow.
I on the social media, are you guys familiar with the philosopher?
Yes,
I've seen her. Yeah,
she did. She did a whole year's worth of daily, good guy with a gun, right?
Yeah,
guy, regular citizen with a gun prevents gun, stops a shooter, stops a thing, right? And all of the things, they got no press at all. You could go and read the articles about what happened, but they were always from a local
paper,
local paper, just a local broadcast from a small, and then nothing else was ever written about it.
Right.
And you could Google all the keywords you wanted to, but you just couldn't, because nobody cares about that. It's not sensational.
Right. And the thing that's really interesting about this whole, open carry, this is an attack on open carry, which has very clear implications, and it's not actually making anybody safer. It's just, this is really just, these businesses are just attacking open carry.
Yeah, it's image.
And what I feel like it is not only is it image, but it is specifically, I feel like what I'm sensing more of is this sort of insipid infiltration into corporate culture to use corporations to wield the force of government in a way that's what's interesting is it's creating an environment where when the pendulum swings the other way, what are we going to get? Because this is creating pressure to create something that is going to create a culture where this pendulum will swing the other way. And that scares me.
When you say the pendulum will swing the other way, do you mean
this pendulum is this? There's an
pendulum,
abuse that's going on, right? There's a very large abuse of power. So liberals, let's just use a little language that's a little bit fluffy here when we say liberals and conservatives. Obviously, these terms kind of don't really mean much. But let's just say here, liberals are abusing corporate culture power, right, to create an environment where the laws are being abused to manipulate and attack conservatives, right? Or attack certain conservative values. And eventually, conservatives are going to wake up, right? So, like, I think that right now, conservatives are mostly ignoring. They're just like, where are you going to shop? What are you going to do, right? Eventually, it's going to get to the point of where conservatives are so sick of this that I think that there's going to be conservative businesses that open up. There's going to be maybe a major conservative corporation.
But people thought that was Walmart.
Well, maybe.
That's
maybe
what they
thought that, but it's not happening now.
Yeah,
that's not.
They've been turned.
Right. So again, more pressure.
Yeah.
To make an even more conservative corporate culture, an even more conservative business. And what is that? What that looks like to me is I'm thinking back to, previous times where, I don't know what kind of discrimination, what's allowed, because all these things are laws. Basically, it's like you could probably easily go into a shop and say, I want, me and my wife are NRA, right? We're both proud NRA members. We want you, business, to bake us an NRA wedding cake. And that baker could go, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm anti-gun. And that's fine.
Sure. Should be fine, yeah.
But if a gay couple goes in, then it's against the law. So what I'm saying is I think that there's a lot of little examples, not necessarily a little example, but I think that there's a lot of examples like that where if you do something that's anti-liberal, it's going to become against the law very rapidly. That's the way things are going now. But if with conservatives, I feel like there's this building pressure that this is going to start to swing the other way, where conservatives start making things that liberals like illegal.
That's likely the case. Yeah, if they get in control, sure.
Yeah. So I don't know. That scares me because that, to me, harkens back to some very bad things from the past.
The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Well, the fact is,
this isn't bad now.
We can't all get along. It's time to secede. More coming up.
Let me ask you something. What are you doing when you put money in a 401k or IRA, or store jumper cables in your vehicle, or purchase health insurance? You're preparing. You're preparing to ensure you have enough money for retirement. You're preparing for when your car battery dies, or to have assistance paying a major unexpected medical bill. That all makes sense. The same goes for building a food storage plan. You're preparing for when emergencies or disasters strike and shelves go empty at your grocery store. The best way to prepare is with My Patriot Supply. They've helped 1 million hardworking Americans become more self-sufficient. My Patriot Supply sells hundreds of items, including dozens of emergency food kits at MyPatriotSupply.com. It could be an earthquake, a cyber attack freezing our banking system, or a disaster that shuts down our power grid for weeks. For all these emergencies and more, get your supplies and prepare today at MyPatriotSupply.com. No more rushing to find empty store shelves because you're too late. Do it now so you're ready. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Free Talk Live.
I was watching some videos of you and your crew of cronies on YouTube, and I was shocked at what I saw.
What did you see that was so shocking?
Degenerates that were harassing members of your community. I saw you chasing around some traffic lady, parking violation.
The parking attendants, yeah. Okay, so you saw some footage from Robin Hood of Keene where...
There's a whole bunch of that footage out there, and I can assure you didn't see me.
That wasn't really a Free Talk Live thing.
Incorrect.
All right, you got me. You got me. Lay it on me, prosecutor. What'd you see?
Incorrect. I would like you to address, are you guys receiving government benefits while you guys are doing this? I think you are.
No.
What would the benefit be?
Incorrect! Incorrect, sir!
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You're invited. Join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We also have the Discord on-air call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. Here tonight, you've got Ian.
And Johnson.
And the captain.
We've been talking a lot about this Walmart decision, major announcement that they just apparently made today. They have not yet rolled out all the associated details. They haven't put the signage up yet. They have to train their employees and management on this, but in a nutshell, they're going to stop selling once they sell through their inventory. So they're still going to sell it for now, but then they're going to stop selling 226 and 556, I think it was, ammo, as well as other short barrel rifle ammunition will be off the shelves once they sell out of it. And on top of that, they're not going to be allowing people to open carry in their stores, or at least they say they're going to respectfully request that people not open carry, which
I almost want to just open carry into a Walmart.
That's
just to
part
see,
of the problem.
Bring
right?
a camera.
Right. See, normally I wouldn't want to do that. Normally my viewpoint is if it's their private property, they can do what they want. But they haven't really made it clear. And so in that circumstance, I wouldn't be against you doing that, just to make sure what are the actual rules? How will they handle this? And what are they going to do about it? Plus, you mentioned also that some of the shooters, I don't think all of them, though, might have carried guns in a duffel bag.
Well, I'm saying that that's what their training teaches, so that by their own policy and by their own training...
Are you saying Walmart's training
Walmart's training programs are based around someone carrying weapons into the store that is an active shooter who carries the weapons into the store in a duffel bag.
Because the last guy just had it, right? It was open carried, the last guy, right? When he walked in, because I remember seeing a front door photo, what appeared to be him coming into the store with the gun out. If you're walking into a retail store with a duffel bag and an employee notices, they should stop you anyway because it's bad security to allow customers to waltz in with a big bag in which they can then put products, right? Like, you don't let somebody...
I just had a horrible thought. So Walmart's already horrible at layaway and customer returns. Can you imagine how horrible they'd be with a gun check? Like a coat check, but for your gun, you can bring the gun, but you got to check it in, and then you get somebody else's gun on the way out because they're horrible at it.
They're not going to do that. They're just going to say, they're just going to say keep it out and leave it in your car or whatever. But it's not clear what they're going to do, and they are saying they're going to respectfully request. Let's continue with your phone calls and thoughts, though. Also, I want to make sure that you know that you can go to freetalklive.com. You can download archives of the show that go back all the way to 2006. So if you've missed a moment, the odds are that we've got that moment and many more over at freetalklive.com. There's a ton of free archives. You can download as many as your heart desires. Let's go to the phones and to the fun. We got Joe. He's on the line in Grand Rapids, watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, it's Walmart's a private company, and like any private company, I think they can have whatever policy they want.
That's right.
As long as it's, there's signage up and people know what the policy is. What really aggravates me is when they start advocating, wanting to bring back the assault weapons ban and all this other stuff. And, granted, they can do what they want. They're a corporation. They got free speech, I guess. But politicians are going to listen to them before they listen to me.
That's probably
and
true.
It really gets under my skin.
Absolutely.
And,
now, to be fair, not that there's, I don't want to give them any points, but to be fair, the statement was that they thought the assault weapons ban should be debated. So they didn't really take a position on that specifically.
Well, yeah.
But the rest of it was just awful. What they had to say.
It didn't affect the crime rates back in the 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, Columbine happened back then. I mean, that's when
Sure.
the crack epidemic was going crazy. It's if people are determined, criminals are going to be criminals, and nut jobs, if they're going to do, somebody's going to go for whatever reason, they want to go do some type of mass murder, they'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
Particularly if they're a government.
Right. I mean, if they were planning on buying their ammunition at Walmart, they'll have to make a new plan. That's all that's happened here. I mean, there's nothing that has really transpired that's going to stop some lunatic from shooting up the next location, except that Walmart has made themselves a greater target by prohibiting open carry.
If they cared about security, they'd get rid of the elderly greeters at the door, and they'd put a security guard up there.
And by the way, having been to Mexico within the last year, I went to Acapulco, as I do yearly in recent years for the Anarchapulco event. And, one of the things I like to do while I'm there is spend time outside of the resort and go to real, Acapulco. And so we spent a few days. I was there for like an extra week or so outside of the event. And we went to Sam's Club, and they had a man with a shotgun at the front of the store there. So, I mean, clearly they're willing to, hire security if they feel it's necessary.
Well, I think a lot of these big companies and movie stars, they love the virtue signal on this stuff. They think, I guess Walmart thinks that, maybe the gun community is, they're a smaller segment of society than what, I guess they think they have to do something because of what happened.
Yeah, hey, Joe, I'm curious, Joe, are you do you shop at Walmart? And if you do, will this statement that they've made, have any effect on your shopping habits at their store?
I don't go there very often, and I am a gun owner. I love to shoot, and I own a lot of firearms legally, of course. But I usually go to a little local, smaller gun shops. But it's Walmart, man. I mean, it's the kind of place where you need some chips, you need some pop.
Yep.
You can quick run in or whatever, and everybody goes there. But I'll think twice. There are other companies out there I can do business with. There are Dick's. What was that? Dick's Sporting Goods. I stopped going there when they came out against guns.
Right. Yeah, you can buy your sporting goods in a dozen different places online, and you can probably get as good, if not better prices without having to leave your house. So, no brainer. Or if you go to saveatpurse.com, you can buy your sporting goods and get like 20 or 30% off if you pay with cryptocurrency. So, there's definitely some better deals to be had. Hey, Joe, any other thoughts you want to share? Go ahead.
I just think, when companies do this, it's not, they'll listen if enough people boycott them. And I'm not pro-boycott or nothing like that. But personally, my decision, I'm going to try to avoid Walmart as much as I can. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're serious about the Second Amendment, then, make a statement, man. Hit them where it hurts. Hit them in the wallet.
Yeah, I think Johnson's right in his prediction here. I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but they're going to alienate a good segment of their current customers to appease a section of people who don't likely shop at their store in the first place. They're already shopping at Target, because Target's a little more liberal, frou-frou, a little more spendy, a little higher cut sort of products and the type of customer. Those people aren't going to come across the street just because Walmart's gotten rid of guns, but the gun people, the people who are concerned with their rights when it comes to bearing arms, are going to make a decision.
Right. And the people who basically insipidly infiltrated Walmart, right, to get this done, right, they don't care. They win either way.
That's right. But
right?
yeah, they
they
don't
might
shop
lose.
there anyway.
The business might lose, and the company that they work for might lose. But it's a company.
Yeah, we've seen time and time again that when you let outrage dictate your business instead of the market, that it's just bad
Huge
news.
mistake. Yeah. Hey, Joe, good call. Thanks for sharing your thoughts with us tonight. Definitely appreciate it. Let's go to Dan. He's in Nebraska. You're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead, Dan. Dan?
You guys, I'll be on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. I guess I just can't understand really what the complaint here is with you, because if you're telling liberals that the vehicle they should use to get what they want should be capitalism and not the government, then why is not asking private companies to, of their own free will, do this, not the exact route to take? Like, isn't that pretty much exactly what you're telling us to do?
I'm not telling you to do anything, but if they want to lobby companies to get their way, that's fully within the market. That is absolutely a market action and reaction that can certainly be done, and I wouldn't take that ability away from them. That doesn't mean we can't have an opinion about it.
Oh, for sure. And here's the thing: is I actually think that there's a lot of people who don't mind you having guns and are probably more pro gun than you'd like to admit, but don't want to see it when they're at a coffee store with their family or buying groceries. Like,
get out of New Hampshire, as far as I'm concerned. If those people don't like seeing guns, they really shouldn't be shopping in New Hampshire. There's a place called Massachusetts. They have plenty of stores, and they have a near total gun ban. They can just stay there and pay the sales tax.
I think that those people should be targeting the police first, right? Those people should be targeting, right? If you have a big problem with seeing people with guns on their hips, right? You don't want to see at the coffee shops. Well, then we need to ban police carrying weapons, right?
I support.
That's the most offensive group of people you're most likely to get hurt by. You're not most likely to be hurt by somebody who's open carrying a weapon, a lawful abiding citizen. You're most likely to be killed by a police officer
or some other member of a government agency.
Yep, that's absolutely true. You're more likely to be shot by a cop than you are a mad shooter as well. There's more coming up here in moments. It's Free Talk Live. Hour 3's next.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. Go Dark Bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit godarkbags.com/FTL. That's godarkbags.com/FTL.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,521, silver at $18.37, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,391. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Takeoff with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at InnoScale.net. In the news, they started off by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. 10 minutes later, they were reading the text of a resolution claiming the existence of, quote, overwhelming evidence, end quote, that pre-planted explosives caused the destruction of the 3 World Trade Center buildings. And so it was on July 24th of this year. Nearly 18 years after the horrific attacks that traumatized a nation and changed the world forever, the Franklin Square and Munson Fire District, which oversees a volunteer fire department serving a hamlet of 30,000 residents just outside of Queens, New York, became the first legislative body in the country to officially support a new investigation into the events of 9/11. The resolution, drafted and introduced by Commissioner Christopher Gioia, was unanimously approved by the 5 commissioners. Members of the audience, including the families of fallen firefighters Thomas Hetzel and Robert Evans, both Franklin Square natives, joined in solemn but celebratory applause after the 5th aye was spoken. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Scientists from the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Harvard University recently discovered something that could change cancer treatment forever. The Mind Unleashed reports that in the study, Harvard researchers learned that a compound in the cannabis plant called flavonoids can be used in the treatment of pancreatic cancer, one of the deadliest forms of cancer, with a survival rate of only 20% within 1 year. Flavonoids are a common compound found in most plants, fruits, and vegetables. But the drug used to treat cancer, called FBL-03G, is specifically synthesized from the cannabis plant. The discovery could provide much-needed hope and relief to patients with an illness that has only an 8% 5-year survival rate. Although pancreatic cancer only affects 3% of all cancer patients in America, it's on track to become the second leading cause of cancer-related death in America by as early as 2020. The state of Illinois recently passed a bill to legalize the sale of recreational marijuana, but not everyone is happy about the changing times. Residents in the city of Naperville held a rally over the weekend to oppose the sale of recreational marijuana after the first licenses were awarded to cannabis businesses in the state. Organizers of the rally said they don't want recreational marijuana to be sold in the city because they want to maintain a family-focused atmosphere, according to the Chicago Tribune. The Mind Unleashed reports it's still unclear how the recreational marijuana industry will work in Illinois, as every state has implemented different guidelines. The legalization bill will go into effect next year, and the program will begin very small. So far, only 5 locations will be permitted to sell the plant, starting on January 1, and all of them are already medical marijuana dispensaries. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
According to a new report released this week by the Pew Research Center, a rising number of weak, emasculated men are working as stay-at-home dads, with a steadily increasing number of feeble, pathetic fayboys choosing to spend their days cooking, cleaning, and performing other submissive duties.
Well, our findings indicate that more and more pussified half-men are not going to work. and instead are embarrassing themselves by purchasing groceries, packing children's lunches, and denying all aspects of their masculinity on a daily basis.
The Onion spoke to one of these effete, pathetic excuses for men to get his response on the new report.
I love being able to stay home with Angela. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
What a f***ing pussy. For more on this story, check this week's Onion Review.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We are launching into the third hour of the program. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian.
And Johnson. And the captain.
And you can interact with us. You can bring up whatever's on your mind. Still to come, the Texas law that is apparently going to make it illegal to send an unsolicited nude photograph to somebody. Also on the way, the captain wants to talk about bus police, and we'll get into that if we get the chance. Of course, your calls and thoughts come first. We've spent a lot of time talking about this new Walmart press release that is, I think, going to make a lot of people upset, and rightly so. They're basically backpedaling on their previous seeming support for gun rights and have not only made the statement that they're going to stop selling certain types of ammunition very soon, but they're also going to likely prohibit open carry. They say they're going to, quote, respectfully request that their customers not open carry in their store, and they've got training that they're going to be giving their employees, signage that's going to be going up in the coming weeks about that, so we've yet to see exactly how it's going to be implemented. And then they went so far as to actually take political positions in this press release that they came out with, demanding that Congress do stricter background checks and have more debates about more restrictions and ridiculous crap like that. So that's where we left that discussion. But Dan in Nebraska was on the line, and you had some comments, Dan. I wanted to make sure you had a chance to get them out. Please go ahead. You're on Free Talk Live. Dan?
Okay, so basically, no, am I on?
We got you.
All right. So what I was saying though was, well, first off, somebody said earlier that if you don't like it, that you should leave. But the people like me we're just born into Nebraska. People here like their guns and stuff, but I was born here too. So you have to remember that for every state, you've got 35% of the population that is going to be in opposition, and they're not just going to leave because they have a disagreement. But furthermore,
well, they probably should. I mean, all things considered, doesn't it make sense to go places where people who are like you are already living? So if you feel like you're a fish out of water in Nebraska and that you're surrounded by a bunch of gun rights, enthusiasts and people who don't agree with you on things, wouldn't it make more sense to, move to Seattle or California or someplace where you're going to feel more at home?
Well, I have another comment to make after this, but what I was going to say,
and I'm presuming you're a liberal. I don't know what your beliefs are, so you sounded like you might be. But go ahead.
I don't like to call myself a liberal. I like to call myself a leftist. But what I was saying is that, as long as I need, the in-state rate for tuition, I can't leave Nebraska. If I want to do in-state tuition, I'm going to have to keep voting for gun control, because it's not like I'm going to go pay an extra $8,000 per semester or something so I can live in a state with.
So economics are important, and you want to stay there because you're getting a better deal on college.
Precisely.
Now, are the college campuses in Nebraska gun-free zones, or are you allowed to carry?
I believe that they're gun-free zones.
Yeah,
I go to a public university. There are a couple of private universities here too. I couldn't tell you about those.
So,
but I'm pretty sure University of Nebraska, there's no guns on the campus.
So wait, of the field, I'm assuming of the field of politicians, then that you that are currently seeking the Democratic nomination, then that you must be, really supportive of Bernie, because he'll offer you the most freedom. You'd finally be able to leave the state. I mean, right now you're a slave. You're
mean like free schooling, free
Nebraska? Yeah, free education for everybody. Clearly.
Well, I actually still have my 2016 bumper sticker, believe it or not. I'm showing off the clout because I'm a veteran campaigner.
You're the real deal.
The other thing.
So
The other thing I was
basically, it's
gonna
fair to
is
say that after you graduate college, you could move to California and then be around more people that are like you, right?
That's fair to say.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I'm not at that point in my life yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I was going to say is I think Walmart is actually thinking ahead with this decision, because the reality is that the public opinion is changing on this issue, and it's starting with people in the suburbs, people who are also probably big spenders on Walmart. It's college-educated people.
Exactly where gun crime
turning,
isn't.
and it's going to. This is going to be a thing where, I'm sorry, but in 10 to 20 years, the attitudes about guns are going to be incredibly different. They're just getting ahead of the curve because, they.
So
they
wait, when you say they're going to be incredibly different, are you predicting that attitudes about guns will be going in your direction and that people will be rejecting the idea of guns more frequently in 20 years?
100%.
What makes you say
This is
that?
going to be an issue because the polling right now is showing that among suburban people, women, and college-educated voters, the opinion is rapidly changing to more gun control. People are becoming more and more supportive of gun control, and it's happening really quickly in the last couple of years.
So what does gun control mean to you when you use that phrase? Because I know it's important to have definitions, and I know some people think it means a thing and some people think it means another thing. And so I just want to get a clear idea of what you mean by gun control.
Well, and also what does the poll question mean as well? That's a whole other question.
Honestly, I would say that it's just a good blanket term to use for, legislation that's, telling us how the guns will be used or bought or sold or anything really like that. And I don't consider myself especially pro-gun control. I'm just moderately pro-gun control, believe it or not. Maybe that sounds kind of rich, but I think that, anything in that kind of area would probably just be what I consider gun control. Just whatever, whatever I assume it means to
more strict background checks, more restrictions on who can buy how much at what time, that kind of thing, prohibiting
Could be anything like that.
people who have mental health issues.
My follow-up question then is, why would you allow an institution of violence to tell you what you can and can't do, or to tell anybody what they can and can't do with regards to owning a gun, handling a gun, keeping a gun on them, owning a gun, and that type of a thing?
And here's the thing is, I don't think that they should be banned. And I mean, in a leftist way, I do have sympathy for the idea of an armed proletariat. I don't want them to take them from your house. I just think that if you're going to be in public, you can put Rambo back inside your pants.
Okay.
Keep Rambo in your pants.
Is that what you call it?
Thank you for the call
That's
tonight,
nice,
Dan. I definitely appreciate it. Toll-free number if you want to join us is 855-450-FREE. And he may be right. I mean, I don't pay attention to the polls and what people are saying to the polls. But, it's not unbelievable to buy his claim that reactionary people are going to react to violent events in a way that says, my God, we need the government to do something. And, these are the people who have never paid attention, that they think that the government can do a thing, and that they, if we just demand hard enough, the government will figure out a way to stop this gun violence.
I like that guy. I think he's on his way to thinking about stuff, so hopefully the conversation we've had with him tonight,
he's a nice young gentleman. He's called the show in the past.
I don't feel like he's thought the process through logically about what happens with gun control and legislation.
You don't get just a little bit of it. It's always more, and then more, and then more, and then before you know it, you don't have any rights left. I mean, if you travel to Massachusetts tonight with a bullet, you can be arrested for that.
Seriously?
Yeah. Wow. It's a crime to have a bullet without the proper permission slips and things like that in Massachusetts. And does that mean that crime does not exist in Massachusetts? You better you're fooling yourself if you think that's the case. So anyway, if you want to comment, please do. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I think that if he's right, let's take what he says at its word, and that is that the polls show that people are moving in a more gun control style direction. I don't doubt that there are people who would respond that way on a poll. On the other hand, there's still plenty of people in the United States who own guns and appreciate them and do not want to see them restricted. And this is one of the reasons why intentional migrations, like we were discussing at the very beginning of the show, where liberty-minded people, the three of us are here for this intentional migration. We're here in New Hampshire. None of us are natives from New Hampshire.
Fact.
But we're here now because of an intentional movement of people who care about freedom, and that includes the right to bear arms, as well as other freedoms. Those people are coming to the same place, and that's because we are outnumbered in a lot of other places. And if you're outnumbered and you are too diffuse in the population, too dispersed out there, you can't have an impact. You can't make a difference in the political system. We are making that difference here, and I say good luck taking guns from New Hampshire, because I don't think it's going to happen or coming up.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
What good is living in a free society if you don't live a free life? Are you able to do whatever you really want to do? Being stuck in a job or difficult business, or being locked into a relationship with a woman you might like, but you're not free to do what you want? I'm Caleb Jones, and my staff and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create location-independent income and how to date women under your terms. Go to freelifeinfo.com to download 7 free books and podcasts so you can live a life like this too.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Live video of our key New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You may dial toll-free and take control of the airwaves here. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Tonight, it's Ian.
And Johnson.
And the captain.
Want to tell you about the Edge wallet. It is the cryptocurrency wallet that I use more than any other, and I've used a bunch of them. Edge Wallet's great because it allows you to secure your freedom by buying, selling, trading, and securely holding your favorite cryptocurrencies. It's available for iOS as well as Android devices. You can hold your Bitcoin BTC, your Bitcoin Cash, your Dash, Ethereum, various Ethereum tokens, Monero, Ripple, Stellar. I think they also just added Ravencoin. There's a bunch of them in there. Go to edge.app to learn more about the technology behind the Edge wallet. It's a great wallet, and of course, it's free. So you can also just download it from your iOS or Android app stores. It's Edge Wallet. Go to edge.app to learn more about it and get your copy. As we go to your calls and thoughts, we have Justin in Alabama. Justin, where are you calling from in Alabama tonight?
I'm calling from Huntsville.
All right, welcome. So you must be listening to WBHP. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, I was listening to the last guy on the radio, and he was talking about eliminating, I guess, guns. I'm a homosexual male, and I prefer to have guns because it makes me feel safer. You know,
Absolutely.
You never know who's out there, who's crazy. You know, statistically, if you have a gun, you're more safe.
There's no doubt about that. It is, something that can even the odds in a situation where some homosexuals have certainly found themselves facing a group of not so friendly people. And if you have a gun on you, unless you happen to be like a karate master or, jujitsu master or something like that, it doesn't hurt to have some sort of a weapon on you. And that may be something that last caller takes for granted. Maybe he doesn't feel like he's a particularly persecuted category in Nebraska where he lives. But if you're a homosexual living in the deep South, I suspect that you'd rather be a little more safer walking the streets.
In some cities, yes. The city I actually live in is pretty progressive.
That's good.
Yeah. But for the most part,
Still, you
I
never
think
know.
down here we tend to be more conservative. I think over in Atlanta they tend to be more liberal and more forward-thinking.
Well, what do you think people are going to do about this new Walmart policy? I mean, has anybody been talking about it in your circles?
No, not really. I barely shop at Walmart, so I'll probably stop shopping altogether.
Where do you normally go to, get toothpaste and toilet paper and, that kind of stuff?
I'll either go to, Publix or I'll go to Target.
All right, there you go. See, now that's the thing. Who knows what Publix and Target's opinions are about these things, but I suspect they're not going to be that different.
Actually,
if
I think
they said
Target's
them.
been clear that the Target is
Anti-gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Publix, I don't know. That would be an interesting question, but I do love Publix from back. We used to live in the South. Johnson and I used to live down there, so we're very familiar with that.
The subs.
Justin, thanks for the call tonight, man. I appreciate hearing from you. Let's go to Rod. He's in Prescott, Arizona. Rod, you're watching us on YouTube. Go ahead.
I love wrecking you, Johnson Spice Boy. I'll call the pigs
All
for
right,
you.
you're not supposed to be on the radio. I'm just going to hit the dump button on you, buddy. 855.
You've been dumped.
Poof.
450 free. That's 855-450-3733. And we'll continue here. So I've got this story that I've had for a couple days, and it is more bad news. This actually coming out of Texas. Story coming from the Associated Press as states push to criminalize the sharing of intimate photos to get revenge on former sex partners. You've heard about this, right? The revenge porn, or whatever they're calling it. Those laws have been in the works and have been being passed for years. So that's kind of old news. Texas is teaming with Bumble, which is a dating app, to crack down on people who send unsolicited nude images on dating apps and elsewhere in cyberspace. The new Texas law banning so-called cyber flashing comes after State Representative Morgan Meyer of Dallas collaborated with the Austin-based social and dating application company to shepherd a bill earlier this year. Quote, they had a number of people who were using the app complaining about the sending of these images, and they quickly realized there was no recourse, said Meyer. Well, there's recourse. You just stop using the app.
Well, I mean, a lot of girls out there that they take these pics that guys send them, and they go find the guy's social media, and then they forward the pic to their mother. And say, your son sent me this.
That's some recourse.
Yeah.
Myers said, recalling how Bumble CEO Whitney Wolfe Herd approached him about crafting a measure. Quote, "There was nothing that could be done. It wasn't a criminal offense, although it was definitely digital sexual harassment." Unquote. Now, I'm not saying I support the unsolicited sending of genitalia or whatever. I mean, I think it's tacky. I don't understand.
Isn't this only in the internet age, though? I mean, I think before the internet, I don't think there was an epidemic of people
sending
taking
Kodak
Kodak one-steps of their genitals and mailing it to their girlfriend or whatever.
Well,
right?
if there was
wasn't an
epidemic,
analog version of this, right?
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't, an adult during most of that, so if it was an epidemic, you certainly didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think people were like, taking Polaroids and
that's what I mean. Yeah,
sliding them across the table slowly. Hey, I found something really interesting that I think you should take a look at.
You're in the lunchroom and see a random hottie, and you're like, "Here, I made this.
Check this
for
out.
you."
I made this for you.
The law set to take effect. So this isn't a proposal. This isn't a what if. It's Texas law.
Do we need a law for it? I mean,
no, we don't.
Anybody?
Well, they say everything's bigger in Texas. They might need a law.
Well, apparently some people feel like they need the government to protect them from unwanted genitalia photographs. It's now, I guess it took place Saturday, according to the story here at fox4news.com. This is relatively recent. Yes, so this past Saturday forbids what is often characterized as technology-enabled sexual harassment. It makes electronic transmission of sexually explicit material a Class C misdemeanor with a fine of up to $500 if the person who received it has not given consent. So Myers said the law targeting unwanted images will apply to text messages, email, dating apps, and social media. And this is going to be a cash cow for the people in the government in Texas, right?
I just don't see how it's going to be enforced. I mean,
well,
how's it going to be enforced?
I'm not saying that like it's cool to do that. It's totally uncool to like unsolicited, sending, nudes or whatever, right?
Yeah. And it'd be very easily enforced.
That.
These dating sites are not anonymous. Their identifications are very obvious.
They're going to go to the cops. The cops are going to go to this person, and they're going to say, "We believe you sent this." And
most of these dating sites are paid. Not only is the person's like profile information like completely obvious, but then if it's reported to the dating site, but there's going to be a credit card or something. So it's completely tied.
Right. So for the moment, what the article talks about is just the dating site, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I suspect this law will be far more, vague in what it covers, and so that's where my question about enforcement comes in. Not necessarily the dating site.
Well, but plus it will be,
and there's going to be much more of a rush for these guys to figure out a way to get away with it by using like a VPN or something else and
burner phones or whatever.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, can you charge somebody outside of Texas for sending something to someone in Texas?
Wow, that's interesting.
Right.
If so, who's going to be charged with this?
Or overseas, even.
And it may be difficult to get a conviction if the person doesn't just take the plea deal right out the gate, because, well, how can you prove that's really the person who made that profile?
And whether or not the person has any identifiable skin conditions.
Right. So there are some questions about this, and we can get deeper into it, and you can share your thoughts with us. Our toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Have you had this? Is this a problem? I realize it's a problem probably more for the ladies in the audience. And how do you handle it? If it's bugging you, what do you do about it? 855-450-FREE.
Do you have a crypto wealth advisor or coach? If so, has your cryptocurrency advisor been investing in technology stocks for over 20 years? Have they left the corporate world and retired? Or are they still trying to make a weekly paycheck? Have they produced six-figure results for their customers in the past 30 days? And very importantly, are they a member of the Digital Currency Council? Seth Maniscalco is the founder of Crypto Wealth Coach and CryptoWealthCoach.com. Seth invested in his first Roth IRA at 19 years old while living abroad and has been investing in Wall Street and technology for over 20 years. With experience in all the money markets. By comparison, so many of these so-called crypto gurus have barely been alive for 20 years. Seth has not only experienced personal success from his own investments in crypto, he has also helped his clients earn 6- and 7-figure incomes, including helping investors make over $750,000 in EOS in 90 days and 1,225% in only 5.5 months with Chainlink. Seth has help for the small do-it-yourself guy on up to crypto whales. Increase your wealth. Visit CryptoWealthCoach.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live, and you can dial toll-free to join us on the radio. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. If you are a business owner, whether it's a place where people come to you or maybe you go to your customers, whatever. If you want to accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies like Dash or Zcash or Bitcoin Cash and half a dozen more, you can go to helpmetakebitcoin.com. The folks over there at AnyPay will walk you through the steps. Even if you've never done anything with cryptocurrency before, they will take you through it, and it's super easy to get set up. Within moments of having visited helpmetakebitcoin.com, you'll be ready to accept cryptocurrency at your point of sale, and you'll be doing it for no charge. AnyPay does not charge you per transaction. There's no charge to accept cryptocurrency. You'll get 100% of your sales from your customers if you start taking crypto. Just go to helpmetakebitcoin.com. That's helpmetakebitcoin.com. As we continue here, we're talking about Texas. Is this the first state to do this? Because I suspect it won't be the last, where they are now criminalizing the sending of unsolicited nude photographs. And according to, they're calling it cyber flashing. The Texas government has passed this law. It has now gone into effect as of this weekend. They worked with the company Bumble on doing this. So if you were considering buying their services, I would suggest you probably not do that. And look, I'm not in favor of, this sending these pictures. I don't understand it. Apparently, it's a thing where guys send pictures of their junk to women that they're trying to approach online. I suspect they're also sending them to the guys if they're gay and they're trying to approach them. But apparently, it's like a guy thing. It doesn't happen as often in the reverse, where the women will send pictures of their nakedness to a man without requesting it, right? Like, that's the idea. No one's requesting this happening, and it happens. So I get the frustration that it could cause somebody, but to pass a law prohibiting it.
Well, I got to think that there's already some way that this is not legal, right? I mean, there's already sexual harassment laws. There's already laws about pornography.
I would say
there's always harassment just in general.
Well, right, but when it comes to harassment, and again, I'm not an attorney, this isn't legal advice, but my understanding is in order for a contact to become criminal harassment, you have to tell the person, hey, don't talk to me anymore. So if you send me something offensive, whatever it is, it could be a picture of yourself naked, or it could be just something that I didn't like, right? Something you said that I don't like. And I say to you, Captain, I'm telling you, I don't want to hear from you about this ever again, period. I don't want to hear from you ever again, period. Stop contacting me. And then if you do continue to contact the person who has told you to stop, that meets the definition of criminal harassment. However, in this circumstance, well, you haven't told the person to stop contacting you. That would likely be something that comes after they send a picture of their junk to you, where then the girl's like, hey, buddy, that's not cool. I don't want to hear from you ever again. If he then sends another photo in most jurisdictions, that would be criminal harassment. Texas is now saying just the sending of the photo itself, preemptive of anything else, is going to be a crime. And I think that's wrong. I don't think that the sending of a photograph should be a criminal act. And they're talking about a $500 fine for this action. Now, you did bring up an important question, Captain, and that was, what's the enforceability of this? Because I'll tell you, I've been on these dating sites for more than a year now, and I can tell you there's a lot of pictures on there of women that are not actually on that site.
Right.
Like, they take famous actresses or singers or whatever, or just hot girls, and they repackage them, and they put some sort of description on there, and then there's like a robot that backs the account that just promotes some sort of a sex streaming video site or whatever. There's all kinds of scams where they use people's photographs without pictures. So if somebody makes a fake Captain Kickass profile on Tinder and then starts sending out pictures of some man's penis, it doesn't have to be yours, right? Then, if you're in Texas, you could have the police showing up at your door, and you're like, what profile? I'm not on Tinder.
Well, and it brings into like spoofs, right? Somebody hijacks or spoofs, your telephone number. You know what I mean?
That's a scary idea, too.
Just the ability to like frame somebody for doing this just is beyond scary. But I gotta think that somehow, I mean, I know like in the workplace, right? Because I'm familiar with like sexual harassment, workplace laws, and things of that nature from, my employment history and all that kind of stuff. I've had to give, seminars on it. I've had to work with HR because I've been a manager before, and give the talk, so to speak, about sexual harassment. So, I mean, in the workplace, obviously, if you're sending a nude to anybody else in the workplace, male, female, doesn't matter, you're automatically getting fired. But I got to think that that's also illegal according to workplace law, but maybe it probably varies from state to state.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert on these matters. I can't see what would be illegal about that. It's just bad business, and you should be disciplined for doing something like that and or fired. But, I've never heard of somebody getting brought up on charges. That's why this is newsworthy, because they're now crossing that threshold to saying just the sending of a thing that somebody doesn't want.
I feel like this is a market opportunity for some entrepreneur, some young software programmer to be able to filter, this kind of a thing out, before it gets.
I don't understand.
You know what I mean?
Look, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm not familiar enough with the software that I've used, but I'm pretty sure if I'm in a chat with a girl on, say, Tinder. Girl, I'm gonna put quotes around that because you don't know until you meet them, right? Chatting with somebody on Tinder, I don't think there's a way of attaching a photograph. I think they've already made it so you can't send anything but their predetermined little pictures that they have in like a GIFs folder where you can send the things that Tinder says that you can send, but you can't just send any old photo.
Right.
But Then again, if you've traded phone numbers with that person and said, okay, well, here's my real number, then you've opened up to whatever it is that they want to send you.
Right.
And so now, according to a Pew Research Center survey in 2017, by the way, the law in Texas will target text messaging, email, dating apps, and social media. So any way they can send you unwanted images. A 2017 survey found women encounter sexual harassment online at much higher rates than men. The study found 21% of women aged 18 to 29 report being sexually harassed online, compared to 9% of men in the same age group. Roughly 53% of those women said someone has sent them explicit images that they didn't ask for. And I've heard discussions and numbers about this before.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that it's a horrifying experience. I can't imagine, because I'm a dude, I can't imagine what, the
Is
girls...
it horrifying or laughable? I'm sorry.
Most of the girls who have, it's hard to talk about this. Are like,
whatever.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
delete,
block. I could see, somebody sensitive being like, you know what I mean? Or, like just, or being out,
My God, what is that?
Exactly. You know what I mean? Or particularly if they're getting a lot of them, you know what I mean? And somehow, maybe their phone number got published on one of these revenge sites or something like that.
Get
you
a
know
new
what I mean?
number.
Yeah. There are technological ways around it. So I'm not saying it's a good experience, but like making a law about it just opens it up to the perversion of that law. No pun intended.
So,
and abuse of the law, yeah.
So I remember reading a psychological article about this like many years ago.
Like on PsychBlog or whatever?
Well, no, I just read a lot of different psych sources, so I can't find the original article that I had read to discuss this, but there were some studies done on women seeing male genitalia, and the evolutionary biology and history of this, being that throughout time women have had to be prepared for unwanted sexual contact, right? Because historically, that's the way a lot of sex has been had.
There was
right?
a lot of rape, is what you're
there's
saying.
There's been a lot of rape
Conquest
throughout time.
And rape,
right?
yeah.
So
it's the old caveman thing, right? Bash her over the head with
thing.
the club and drag her back to the cave.
Mm-hmm. Or go back to the conquerors, like the Asian conquerors and whoever else.
So one of the things that was studied was the fact that apparently with most or a lot of women, that upon seeing an erect male genitalia, a lot of women are instantly aroused regardless of whether or not they want to be or not.
Wow, really?
Like that it activates an arousal response.
Is there science on that?
Yeah, there's actual science on this. So and it may not be all women, but it's certainly a percentage of women that are.
So do they feel like conflicted? Like on one hand, they're like, oh, that's offensive, but also kind of.
I imagine there's got to be something like that goes on, because they have to be prepared to be having sex even when they don't want sex,
wow.
right? Historically. So I wonder if it achieves an increased success rate for these guys that are playing the numbers and doing this weird behavior.
Could it really?
It seems very bizarre, but I wonder. Is there a reason?
There's more coming up here. It's Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's mypillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. Dial in, toll free. Even in these remaining moments, we've got enough time for you if you call us now. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. And coming up in basically a couple weeks, it's the State of Anarchy guys are throwing their first convention called Anarchadelphia. It's a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion. Location? Well, of course, Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to promote self-ownership by shining light on issues ranging from geopolitics, blockchain, economics, and spiritual health and wellness, as well as by exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge. They'll be featuring a variety of speakers, including Jeff Berwick, Derek Brose, Luke Radowski, Carrie Wedler, and many more of the most influential minds in the freedom community. All Anarchadelphia guests are invited to attend 3 uniquely stylized after-parties Friday through Sunday, where they can let loose with their favorite freedom advocates. For more information, you can go to anarchadelphia.com and follow them on social media for updates. So again, it's coming up September 13th through the 15th, anarchadelphia.com. So if you thought the news was bad enough coming out of Texas, it's going to get worse. Or it'll get worse if the people at Bumble get their way. They apparently were the Austin-based company that was behind the Texas law that has now been passed, and it's in effect as of Saturday, prohibiting the sending of unsolicited nude photographs.
Wait, I'm sorry, I missed the part. It's already been passed?
It's passed, and it's in effect as of this weekend, Saturday. It went into effect. And now, according to Caroline Ellis Roche, who is Bumble's chief of staff, she says the company plans to take the legislation to the federal level and other states in the hopes of enacting it more broadly. So they are going to try to get a federal prohibition on the sending of unsolicited nude photographs. So rather than just somebody hitting delete and pressing the block button, they want that person to be able to go to the police. They want police man-hours and time to be spent investigating.
I just feel like that's another stepping stone, that increases the surveillance state, right? I mean, we already know that, basically any communication can be looked at least from, the leaks and, the whistleblowers. The federal government does have, enough nerds working for them that can do this kind of thing. So they can already, get your cell phone calls. They can already track your email.
Sure.
They can put a thing on your computer that monitors, keyloggers and all that kind of stuff, monitors your transactions. Even if you're using a VPN, they still have some visibility. So immediately this just creates an excuse for more of that, more overtly for that to happen, because now they have to have the mechanism to do that overtly because of this kind of a law.
Well, right. If you receive a photograph from somebody who you believe to have been the person to send it to you, then if you go to the police, can the police in Texas then go to a judge and say, well, Captain Kickass came in here today and he said Johnson sent him a picture of his junk. We see that it came from this number. Can you go ahead and issue a warrant?
Right.
Because we're going to now need to go in there and seize Johnson's phone and see if he's got this same photograph on his phone, as well as see everything else on
and
your
they
phone.
wouldn't even have to go that far. They just contact, whoever the provider is, whoever owns that number that it came from.
They could do that, but they're going to want to seize the device because that's more information for them. They want that control, right? Because you might have evidence of a drug deal or who knows what else on the phone, and you're not going to be expecting it or whatever. And again, how many people are going to get the message that this is now illegal in Texas? People don't pay attention to the news, so a lot of people are going to send a photograph and end up with the police knocking on their door and making who knows what demands.
If you're listening in Texas, share this specific episode with all your friends.
Yeah, share the news for sure. And again, I don't want to look. I don't have any love for these guys that are sending nude photos of themselves. I think, like I said, I think it's tacky. I think it's stupid. But just because something's tacky and stupid doesn't mean it should be illegal.
Let's outlaw dumb things.
Could it also be, fall under speech?
Good question. Should this be challenged by, say, the ACLU or whatever?
It could constitute speech.
Free speech.
I mean, this is digital communications. It's not, a public place. It's...
You could argue it from the art perspective.
Well...
Which is also free speech.
You want to dress it up a little?
I only send women works of art. The most beautiful works of art.
See, it's a special angle.
It's the work of God.
So, and this comes back to a point that you brought up earlier about this is, how easy will it be to get a conviction from somebody who actually wants to fight this? Because not only could you probably fight it on the free speech grounds, but you could also fight it on the, well, I'm not going to give you any evidence against myself. So, the thing is, they know most people aren't going to fight it, right? So they know they're going to show up at somebody's house.
How many people are going to fight it by just whipping it out and be like, see, that one's circumcised. It's not mine.
Right. So wait.
I'm clearly an anti-hero.
That brings up a good question. So this law, what if you send a picture of somebody else's, right?
It'll still be unwanted.
What if you go to the the local store and grab a, God forbid, a magazine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And take a photo of something in a magazine and send
it's not
that.
like there's hard to find pictures of somebody else's dong on the internet. So, I mean, but that's not going to be the problem. It won't be illegal to only send your own junk. It'll be illegal to send any nude photograph to somebody who did not consent to receiving it. That's, as I understand it, the way this law is written. But ultimately, the question is, were you the one who sent it? Because the phone itself, you're not going to put the phone in jail. They have to prove that it was you who hit that send button on the phone. Now, they have circumstantial evidence that says that, well, you own this phone number. According to Verizon, you're the person on the, the billing address of this. But that doesn't mean that it wasn't, your teenage son who picked up your phone and sent out a picture of his own junk to somebody over the phone. I mean, the likelihood that that was what happened is slim, but they still have to prove something beyond, beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? In that case, and without evidence and without an admission, they're going to have a tough time making that case. But the cops know And most people, they know that most people are just going to roll over and take a plea deal.
Yeah,
they're going to admit to it. The cops are going to show up at somebody's house, bang on the door. Person's going to open up. They're going to say, "Did you send this photograph to Miss So and So on this date?" And the guy's not going to know his rights, and he's going to say, "Well, yeah, I did. Well, what's the matter with that, sir? That's illegal. Here's your ticket." And they're going to write out a $500 ticket because apparently it's just $500. So they're probably not going to arrest the guy, and this is just going to be a big cash grab for the government.
Right.
Basically, every time somebody sends a nudie photo,
So it's misdemeanor?
Yeah.
So then what's it going to be at the federal level?
Well, it's not there yet. They're going to push it to the federal level. They're going to try to get this passed. The cyber civil rights. So I guess what I'm saying here is if somebody did want to try to fight this, I think they'd have a good case as long as they didn't testify against themselves to the police when they come sniffing around about it. The Cyber Civil Rights Initiative reports that 46 states have laws tackling so-called revenge porn, but almost none combat unsolicited sexually explicit images. So this makes Texas the first state to do it. A handful of other states have laws criminalizing the electronic messaging of lewd content, but most of those are linked to the sender's intentions, meaning were they intending perhaps to offend? I'm not sure how they're written. Washington, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey have laws against cyber stalking, which is defined by intent to harass, said Pam Greenberg, senior fellow for the National Conference of State Legislatures. In South Carolina, it's illegal to anonymously send any lewd content without the consent of the person receiving it. So maybe South Carolina and Texas are the first two. Bumble.
And what if somebody? Okay, so what if somebody is discussing? So this is where we're gonna get real interesting. So what if somebody sends somebody an actual work of art?
Right.
Like, what if somebody's they're talking about, like, imagine if it's two students in class and they're discussing an art project or something, and somebody sends somebody a work of art that's nude.
That includes somebody's junk.
And then, that one student gets offended because who's the class of people most likely to get offended about anything today?
College students.
And they say, I don't like this person, so I'm going to go ahead and try to get them prosecuted. And then they report it to the cops.
That's a great question.
And it's a literal, like, it's the statue of David. They sent me a penis picture.
Right, yeah.
Right, when's, what's going to happen?
Great question. I don't know. And that will depend on how this law is written.
And people, of course, I'm sure there's somebody in the audience reacting like, "Oh, you're taking it to ridiculous extremes.
No, you're
just
not.
ridiculous. You're ridiculous. This is ridiculous that you even suggest something like that. That's not what's going to happen. These are reasonable laws."
No, it's going to happen.
The law is never reasonable. It always goes to the unreasonable extremes at some point.
Bumble bills itself as a feminist dating app where women make the first move. Isn't the first dating app company to take on a legislative effort. Match Group, which owns multiple dating app companies, also helped pursue legislation that was passed in California and Vermont, where in California they require all online dating platforms to post safety tips. And Vermont requires the platforms to notify users where they engaged with another user who was removed for fraud. So get ready. If you're in Texas, look out. I mean, again, I think it's tacky. I don't think you should do this kind of stuff, guys, in general. But I think that the market can survive a few nudie pictures, that we're all going to be all right. If you see somebody's penis without consent, it's not the end of the world. I would just laugh it off and then hit delete. And block. See you tomorrow night online, freetalklive.com.
Anarchadelphia is a conference dedicated to the principles of liberty, individual sovereignty, and freedom from coercion, located in Philadelphia, the cradle of liberty. Anarchadelphia seeks to shed light on issues such as geopolitics, blockchain economics, spiritual health and wellness, as well as exposing the Earth's sacred hidden knowledge, featuring Mark Passio, Max Egan, Derek Brose, Jeff Berwick, and many more this September 13th through 15th. For info and tickets, visit anarchadelphia.com.
You're not a wild animal, and you shouldn't be tagged and tracked like one. Where you go and what you do every minute of the day, tracked and recorded by your mobile phone, is often more revealing than your browser history. And tech companies make a fortune selling your location history without your consent. Go Dark Bags prevent location tracking and protect your privacy by instantly blocking all cell phone, GPS, and Wi-Fi signals to your mobile device. Plus, they're durable, water-resistant, and built for a lifetime of protection. Visit godarkbags.com/FTL. That's godarkbags.com/FTL.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,521, silver at $18.37, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,391. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, they started off by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. 10 minutes later, they were reading the text of a resolution claiming the existence of, quote, overwhelming evidence, end quote, that pre-planted explosives caused the destruction of the 3 World Trade Center buildings. And so it was on July 24th of this year. Nearly 18 years after the horrific attacks that traumatized a nation and changed the world forever, the Franklin Square and Munson Fire District, which oversees a volunteer fire department serving a hamlet of 30,000 residents just outside of Queens, New York, became the first legislative body in the country to officially support a new investigation into the events of 9/11. The resolution, drafted and introduced by Commissioner Christopher Gioia, was unanimously approved by the 5 commissioners. Members of the audience, including the families of fallen firefighters Thomas Hetzel and Robert Evans, both Franklin Square natives, joined in solemn but celebratory applause after the 5th aye was spoken. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven and believes so strongly in the power of kratom, they're giving it away for free. Just go to freeounceofkratom.com for a free ounce of kratom delivered to your door. Just pay shipping. That's freeounceofkratom.com. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Find us online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. Your news now continues. Scientists from the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute at Harvard University recently discovered something that could change cancer treatment forever. The Mind Unleashed reports that in the study, Harvard researchers learned that a compound in the cannabis plant called flavonoids can be used in the treatment of pancreatic cancer, one of the deadliest forms of cancer, with a survival rate of only 20% within 1 year. Flavonoids are a common compound found in most plants, fruits, and vegetables. But the drug used to treat cancer, called FBL-03G, is specifically synthesized from the cannabis plant. The discovery could provide much-needed hope and relief to patients with an illness that has only an 8% 5-year survival rate. Although pancreatic cancer only affects 3% of all cancer patients in America, it's on track to become the second leading cause of cancer-related death in America by as early as 2020. The state of Illinois recently passed a bill to legalize the sale of recreational marijuana, but not everyone is happy about the changing times. Residents in the city of Naperville held a rally over the weekend to oppose the sale of recreational marijuana after the first licenses were awarded to cannabis businesses in the state. Organizers of the rally said they don't want recreational marijuana to be sold in the city because they want to maintain a family-focused atmosphere according to the Chicago Tribune. The Mind Unleashed reports it's still unclear how the recreational marijuana industry will work in Illinois, as every state has implemented different guidelines. The legalization bill will go into effect next year, and the program will begin very small. So far, only 5 locations will be permitted to sell the plant, starting on January 1, and all of them are already medical marijuana dispensaries. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can. Just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Everyone in a bustling Chinese parade is attempting to elude pursuers. Newly discovered cave paintings suggest early man was battling a lot of inner demons, and a xylophonist is shredding it. This Tuesday, FBI officials disclosed details of a disturbing al-Qaeda plot to just kick back, relax, and savor the inevitable collapse of the United States. Intelligence agencies confirmed the massive coordinated plan involves terrorist cells across the globe, training specifically to take a load off and unwind as America's political infighting, class divides, moral indolence, and environmental self-destruction gradually tear the nation apart.
Our righteous warriors will devote our time to relaxing and really soaking in the infidels' self-destruction. America's cities will be reduced to ruins. The economy will come to a standstill. And we, the Blessed of Islam, will kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy the show. It's going to be great.
This is the Onion News Network.
And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Believe me when I say we have a difficult time ahead of us. But if we are to be prepared for it, we must first shed our fear of it. I stand here without fear because I remember that I am here not because of the path that lies before me, but because of the path that lies behind me. I remember that for 100 years we have fought these machines. And after a century of war, I remember that which matters most. We are still here! Today, let us make them remember. We are not afraid!
Yeah, and feared here and declare your independence from me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona. From the BEA beautiful studios of Freedom's of the Nest, calm. We'll be right back after I get my voice. Okay, well, we'll just start it now. All right, what we're going to do is in the third hour course, we have Trump Report with the Dr. Tamburi. So that'll be interesting. Lots of stuff going on, lots of stuff. It's always entertainment, but I mean, damn. I'm so sick of it. You guys still voting? Damn. I mean, we got to get away from all these guys. Just 62 miles away is anarchy. Anarchy's only 62 miles away straight up. 100 kilometers up, and it's like, man, we're outside all y'all's jurisdiction. What shall we do? Well, we're going to find out. It's one thing, the last couple of weeks, I've been keeping the Gateway Project. Gateway is a group of people came together to design a space station. 2001 Space Odyssey, big, giant, spinning Hilton. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you guys remember, that big space station in 2001 was a Hilton. And going to it was Pan Am. This is they didn't even think it was going to be like a NASA thing or something. Of course it was going to be private industry that did all this stuff. Well, that's what's winding up happening. A private industry be doing the stuff. So it's interesting to watch all this. I saw there's an article, India is landing on the moon. India. They don't have an astronaut, but India has got their own rovers. Then we just had last week, what was it, White Rabbit or Jade Rabbit or something. It was one of the Chinese rovers. I know they had Jade Rabbit, and then they had another. I don't know if it was that one or another one. They're getting more. China had a rover on the dark side of the moon, and it went through some gelatinous white, lighter-colored soil of what the heck is this? It's like the Blob. If it was a biological, it would have taken it over and turned into a big monster and went in the movie theater and ate everybody. But seeing as how it's reality, it's a big blob that ate the monster, turned into a monster by eating the robot and went in the theater and ate everybody. But if there's something that it got, and we'll find out about that later. I'm like, 3 weeks. But there's a lot of interesting things. SpaceX is having, you thought they just had the big Falcon rocket? No! Interplanetary transport system, was that ITS. So interplanetary transport system is a bigger one, and it's twice the size. And I'll show you some graphics here in a little bit. But it is, it was 18, it's, I gotta get the right measurements. It's like 9 meters on one, 18 on the big one, and then the other one's going to be like double that. It's like, 30 meters across or so. It's a big, fat, juicy rocket. Now, one they have Falcon 9 send Dragon capsule with, 7, 8 guys or something. Then you have the BFR that would go, they call it Starship, and it would be, I think it was a couple hundred people, and then this other one is 1,000, and the one with 1,000, send a bunch to Mars, and then you got like 1,000, but it's also for the planetary, just going, you got 1,000 people and that'd be a $300 ticket, and boom, you're in Tokyo in 40 minutes. So I'm going, yep. Here we go, and it's all, the fuel. It's the Raptor engines. He's been working on that when they first started doing the Merlin engine back in, when was this? It was a long time ago, 6, 7. I remember us covering it early days of Freedom's Phoenix. Pal Gamble and I would, have the live feed from the, where was it? Marshall Islands, I think it was. It was out in the Pacific somewhere, some launch thing. And it was until the third time or more that it worked. It was always, this bolt went and this washer wasn't and this connection of and salt air got to and all kinds of stuff and things happened. But he was running out of money. And finally he got one in the, I didn't know if did it go orbit? And when he did that, and the Merlin engine finally, powered rocket, finally made it, boom, then NASA says, okay, here's some money. For something. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have made it. So they, here comes SpaceX. So SpaceX, from the beginning, his whole goal, a lot of people don't remember how this started. He just wanted to inspire and put a little plant on the Red Planet window in the background, add some water, and you get a green leaf, and and I got my logo, ain't cool. And we'll go do something. And it just got to be, wow, are we that stifled with government, with, inertia, just kind of stuck? And he goes, why is it 100 times more to build a 747 that's pointed up without wings? Why is that? Who did that? He goes, how much is titanium and aluminum? Well, I can buy rolls of that and do it myself, right? All right, well, let's do that. So that's kind of basically what happened. And they built their own engine. He goes, come in this, I can read a book. What, there's not papers on this stuff. Hire a couple of scientists, rock and roll and whatnot. So they did. That was the Merlin engine. Merlin is what does Falcon 9, but they needed a more powerful engine, and he wanted to use methane, I think it is. And the reason is because from carbon dioxide from the atmosphere of Mars and cracking of water and whatever else you need to do, boom, you got oxidizer and methane, and you can refuel on Mars. So what's the first thing they're sending there? Stuff to make more fuel. Ha, 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 ha. So you can get back. Because that was one of the things. Yep, one-way ticket to Mars. People going, yeah, no. So I think he said, yeah, maybe I'd like to go and come back. And then he would say his famous saying, I want to die on Mars, preferably not on impact. And you go, okay, I can see that. Now, there was a presentation that he and, what's his name, Jack Ma, the guy that's the owner of Alibaba, which is like the, big giant Amazon of China, and you buy it by the pallet. So he's like Sam's Club to Amazon's Walmart or something. By the pallet. So he and Elon were on the stage, and they're talking about the future and what's going to happen and so on. Jack Ma was saying, artificial intelligence, nothing to worry about. Move along. It's all good. It'll be great, and we'll all have our own robot. Elon was like, yeah, we're in trouble. It's not going to be a little bit smarter. It's going to be warp speed, oh my God, smarter. And if we can't beat them, which we're not going to be able to, we need to join them. We need to be able to have access to the same kinds of, and add our distinctiveness to the collective of the Borg, cyborg or something, And so he's advocating that Neuralink, which will be, it sews like a sewing machine in your brain. You get all these electrodes in different parts of your brain that gives you an interface with the internet. And you go, yeah, okay, you first. But he's like, to think that this artificial intelligence, even a little bit better, a little bit over long enough time, and all of a sudden it's your overlord. And this is what he's worried about. And we're going to Mars. So what's Jack Ma say? Oh, we got to take care of stuff here on Earth. You're doing it wrong. You should be sitting here on Earth. He's going, well, I'm helping. From the fourth letter of Captain Mark. Landlubbers are conditioned to believe that the originators of an idea deserve exclusive rights to it. But these innovators are nothing but privateers, granted a monopoly by the Crown. Potential inventors are restricted from using their own property and forced to navigate a wilderness of prohibited ideas. These pattern monopolies are intellectual colonization. This alliance of means between the Crown and the privateers is not an alignment of ends. Both collude to establish a permission culture, in which everyone second-guesses their own thoughts, never sure which ideas are permissible to develop. But their objectives are different. The Crown aims to cripple dissenting opinion, while privateers will only be satiated when all new ideas already fall under their monopoly. This scheme does not protect our information, but seizes it and denies us access. The future belongs to individuals who think, speak, and act freely to create and share without reservation. Join the conversation at pirateswithoutborders.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
Now that you've found the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM, you may want to help expose others to our great programs. To assist you in doing so, you'll find resources at promote.lrn.fm, including details on how to get a free bumper sticker, quarter-page flyers you can print out and distribute, banners for your website, as well as files that will allow you to make your own custom banners and graphics. Visit promote.lrn.fm and help bring new listeners to the Liberty Radio Network. That's promote.lrn.fm. Free Talk Live.
I wish you would have answered the question as to what's the age range. I mean, if two 10-year-old boys are playing doctor with each other, and he was specific that he said it was okay for a boy and a girl to play doctor, which did happen to me when I was that age, but I was maybe 2.5, 3 years older than that girl. Am I a molester? She was the one trying to take my pants off. Should she go to jail?
You know, people like Lou, they get all upset over things like this when they're not even apprised of the facts. And you try to tell them the facts, and they just, since it doesn't fit with their worldview, it doesn't fit with their core belief system, it can't be possibly true that I could have possibly have known what I was doing at that
Children
age.
who are engaged in sex with somebody who is older are being manipulated. That's one of them. And, sometimes sometimes that's true.
Absolutely. There's
and
no
sometimes
doubt.
it's not.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Roads? It's the Ernest Hancock Show. Where we're going, there aren't any roads.
New World Order in Meltdown. This is one of the more popular articles over the weekend. What Donna has done when I don't have a guest, in the first hour or so, she'll go through all of the listing by popularity on the shows over the weekend. And one was the show I did with James Corbett last Wednesday. We were talking about, Cadillactics versus economy and a bunch of other stuff. And he and anyway, so he put it up on his site, and boom, they'll get you, fixed up with a bunch of Corbeteers up there. Now, the conversation there kind of went the same as, what I'm going to talk about here in this segment. There is a lot of revelation that's coming out, and I guess their AI could see it. Or hell, anybody that had any intelligence could see it, that there is an awakening happening worldwide. This is planetary. And you may have heard me talk about it before, and I go, this is not a geographical thing. It's a generational thing. This is not, just, Hong Kong. This isn't like, in Moscow. This isn't just, in Italy and France and Paris and London and all the stuff that's going on with Brexit and everything else and the U.S. and Trump and blah, blah, blah. It's not just any one of the, it's a generational thing. It's a revelation to individuals. And all they have to do as individuals is, hey, don't believe me anymore on that. I don't have to have that. I'm more worried about that. Just a little bit, and their entire politics, marketing campaigns, retail outlets, social media platforms, everything is based on your general public opinion of good or bad or a little bit, or I got to have this in the next, G.I. Joe, the Kung Fu grip. I mean, for Christmas. I mean, whatever it is, that's the next, everybody's centered around that. And what it has been for a long time, years, has been the communication devices. It's, your phones and so on. So your laptops and your tablets and your wristwatches and your earbuds and all that, to the point where you get, okay, I'm good. I'm caught up. Now what? You get me a response time and speed down to 200 milliseconds to only 100 milliseconds. At some point, I can't tell the difference. What do you do then? Well, it's more interface with your brain. It's more reading. Samsung wants to read your mind. Amazon sure as heck does. All these guys, they want to be able, it's anticipatory computing. It's what, it's deja vu. Think of this. Deja vu, just imagine, okay? Let's take off your rational cap here for a second. Just imagine, okay? Now, there's been some research on this. I did read this years ago and basically went like this. Deja vu, to where you get kind of that, I did this before feeling, or it's kind of, they're saying it's one of two things, or well, it's one of a bunch of things. One, you're whacked. But the big thing is that when you are experiencing the feeling that you've been somewhere before, or that it's kind of a clairvoyant foretelling of. You're sitting, you're going, I've been through. Whenever I get that, I just learned, over time, decades of life, I go, that's a sign. It means that I'm supposed to pay attention. It's like, whoa, okay, check your six, look behind you. No asteroid coming. There's not, just take a look and see what's around. Whenever I get that feeling, okay, why did I get that feeling? It's kind of, I just take the moment to just, take the 3-5 seconds to just be aware of your surroundings. And why would you have deja vu? Why would that happen? How does that happen? Well, a lot of people think you have short and long-term memory. When you go into, as you're recording stuff, if it goes into your long-term memory and then it kind of comes back, it makes it seem like you relived something, and it's just a loop that you put in that just happened 3 seconds ago. But you think it came from long-term memory, that you did it before. So there's that theory. It's just, it just got sent in the wrong file and made it seem like you'd done it before. Okay, there's that. The other one is a quantum thing. They're going, as a survival trait, an instinct, if you're going around the corner, if you get just a little bit of EBGB, that there's a saber-toothed tiger around the bend, then you're like, I'll go this way, okay? So it may have been a survival thing. Well, then that means that you'd have to be in the quantum realm, and you're kind of, looking into the future. You got time things. Nothing surprises me anymore. And they're talking about different animals do this, and, one that's how birds navigate, is they got some kind of a quantum field compass with a little lodestone of magnetic in their brain of I know exactly where I'm at. I'm a salmon. I know exactly where I need to go. Now, don't you find that interesting? How the hell do they know is a little bit to make it back up to the one stream of what? Is it a smell? Is it it's kind of a GPS-y, something. Well, this is what they're talking about, all this quantum stuff that some animals in some situations are, and there was an experiment with birds on this. They did like a bowl that they got caught in, and it was a scratch thing that they would be able to tell which direction that they were focused on something. I mean, that's a long time since I watched that. But the ability to tap into something else could be a survival trait. Well, are we tapping into something now? Is there a collective consciousness? Is there a planetary brain? Is there Gaia? Is it Pandora? These things have been thought about, and they made a movie about it. Like to see it? Here we go. So, are we feeling something? It's all about just general public opinion. And as you get enough data and enough examples and enough, even the noise. This is when I talked to Bob Prechter that does the Elliott wave. Now, Elliott wave is a chaos theory given form. And what they're talking about is any repeating cycle, anything, the weather, floods, earthquakes, whatever it is part of a natural system that has a pattern. There's always patterns in life. I mean, I guess you get like asteroids will mess up your pattern, but that's part of the pattern. If you get in a bigger, thing of asteroid strikes on Earth over, billions of years. Well, then you go and you look at the pattern. Well, okay, there's kind of a pattern there. Well, that has a kind of a pattern on, evolution or development or, floods or whatever. I mean, there's a pattern. Whenever you have life, there's a pattern. When you have entropy, this is where you get into blockchain stuff and computer science and all this kind of stuff. Got to have entropy. What the heck is entropy? Entropy is just chaos, randomness. Is anything really that random? Well, certainly from my little myopic view, sure as hell is. But, you have all of these patterns. Well, there's a pattern coming. I can feel it. Can you feel it? Do you feel it? You got your little quantum lodestone brain molecule in there working? Do you? Well, that's what we'll go over a little bit. What are some of the patterns? Big patterns. Big, giant, humongous for long time patterns. Be right back.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock. To be a part of the show, call 602-264-2800.
New World Order in meltdown. Yep. Just do a search on that, and it'll pop up. Certainly, and it's on Freedom's Phoenix. This is, pretty much what we've all seen coming. Now, it was written by John Helevig via the Saker blog. Now, this is on Zero Hedge, where we came across it. And I looked at it, and I read, yep. I should read that, and let's put it up. And then, but the audience, they went, readers, man, they went, woo! They've been affording this one. They were looking, so it just solidifies everything that we've been talking about. National debts around the world, all the sanctions on this and different economies and how they're coming up and who owes whom what and how and why and so on. Russia, China, I tell you, China's really gone merca and done big, giant debt. They just, you can just print money? Okay, we can do that, So it's they're falling down the same rabbit hole here. Russia a little bit different. And they've been thinking that Russia is all dependent on its petroleum production. And not so much. As it's not like the Middle East sheikdoms. They go, hey man, we got a bank account. It's called a lake of oil underneath the sand over there. We just need more? Okay, we'll just pump more. Oh, it's a third what it was. It's half what it was at least. Okay, we'll just pump more. Well, then it goes down. Oh, it's only 30% of what it was worth before. Okay, I guess we got to pump a lot more. So this is, they don't care, and they're so dependent on it. And then their people, all expect and want and give me, and then when you don't do it, Yemen. That's what all that is about. You have people that dissent and don't like it, and we don't like the Yemen. And then we got a bomb for you. So there's a lot of stuff going on. It shouldn't even be not our problem. I don't even have an opinion. It's like, nope, not my. But that's not what's happening. It's everybody. You got to get up in their business. Well, with my tax money, I prefer not. Now, the New World Order and what they're yakking about is Macron from France is going, yeah, we're in trouble. And he should know. He's Mr. Goldman Sachs in Europe kind of guy. He has him and his wife have like friends and stuff in high places. And they look down their nose at that uncouth individual, Trump. He is so uncouth, he should not be allowed to be president. The people are so dumb that they blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's what they're doing.